And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Sword of Victory. I have with us two of our three players. Liam, I'll modify that picture for you later. You're a little bit blown up tonight, sorry. But don't worry, it won't always be like that. We are going to do something similar. I'll probably get a photo of all three of you, and then if you're not here, I can still have you there in spirit. It'd be like when Edward died. All right, my name's Bob. If you haven't watched before, this is King Arthur Pendragon role-playing game. We play through the entirety of Great Pendragon campaign. So we're in the years of Uther, and we're gonna go all the way to the death of Arthur. It should be a good time. All right, Thomas, you got anything to add today?
Not as such, only to say that I am Thomas, and I will be playing Sir Edrich of Winterbourne, Stoke, who's been having a surprisingly okay time of things recently, despite having been stabbed twice and been embroiled in another conspiracy. But it's all going to be fine. And we will miss Liam and Perrin this stream.
Mark?
Hi, I'm Mark. Today I'll be playing Sir Florence of Idmiston, who's just been having a great time, really. There's kind of no problems going on with him, at least none that he's aware of. And, let's see those problems that don't exist become bigger problem.
It's kind of a bit of a stark contrast from Edward.
It really is. It's a very different character. I'm having a lot of fun.
For sure. I'm gonna resize you slightly. There you go. Now you're about Thomas. Yeah, you're close enough. Good enough. I give up. These are temporary cameras. They don't look terrible.
I can lean
You can see your entire faces, so we are good.
Excellent.
Right? Yeah.
Let's go.
That's what happens with Zack. All right. I commented how I finally got all of Zack in view, and then we got into game, and Roll20 was required, and it became this. So, yeah. Let's dive in, guys. Let's talk about more of 487. What do you recall from last session? Because I think we're going to be seeing a bit more of that come up as we go.
Last session, I believe we saw the Sword of Victory unfurled for the first time, held in the hands of Uther. We had a toast about it.
We also received a call to war by the Romans. Apparently, they want us to join them in a battle against the Franks, I think, or Frankish. Whoever it is, it's we're kind of also embroiled in our own problems at the moment. You may or may not have heard of the Saxon menace. We don't talk about it that often.
Yeah, we never talk about Saxons on this stream.
Never.
Yeah.
Cut in a compilation of us talking about Saxon.
Yeah, that'd be
yes,
great.
Indeed. Of racism giving us superpowers, of which it recently did for Edrich.
Yes.
I will add that to the tubes if anyone actually is brave enough to cut that in. I will slide that in.
Reception was pretty warm for him, though there were some opponents. But other than that, yes, Sir Jarren is a dick and remains so.
Yes, continues to be so.
And Sir Leif
he's your buddy. I don't know
is
what you're
also
talking
a dick.
about.
I'll kill him and leave his dead, broken body in a ditch.
He just wants
I don't
to be
even
your
know
friend.
him that well.
He just wants to be your friend.
I'm sure. And Sir Leif is also a dick, but we don't know that.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. I love these characters that are just like everyone's like, oh, we hate them to all death. Like there's no middle ground.
Yep.
They shall all die.
Yeah, we either love them or we hate them.
Yeah.
There's no state of mild tolerance.
There's no middle
Either
ground.
we like you, we hate you, or we're not aware of your existence yet.
Then you'll be sorted into one of two categories.
Did we do up your squires yet?
We did
we didn't
roll
introduce
for
them
them.
narratively, but yes, we have them listed in a thread in the Discord, so I know their name.
Can
at
I get you
least.
guys to read out your own each, just so we know who Edrich and Florence's squires are? I think it'd be good for the people watching to actually see that. What do you guys think? Is it doable?
Yes.
I can go with that. Do you want to go first?
How about you go first? Because I'm trying to fucking find it.
All right. Edrich Squire is Deo of Lonnazep County. He's 18 years of age, so close to his own knighthood. He is generous with a famous stat of 19. He is also famously proud with a 16. He hates Saxons as much as I do at a level of 15, which is pretty racist, and has a skill of hunting which far surpasses mine at 12.
It's almost like the Saxons killed a lot of your parents and grandparents in
Yeah, all right.
like treacherous ways too, red wedding style ways. So
Indeed.
yeah.
Just a
All
quick
right.
reminder, where are these listed? I'm trying to find them and have an issue.
Knights of Salisbury. If you
Oh.
click on the top right-hand corner, you'll see thread.
Right.
Then you can
Mine-
browse the thread.
There it is. It was 13 days ago.
You're ready for this.
Ready for this? Our good dear friend Florence Esquire is Sinjen? Kajen?
How do you spell it?
Again?
Cyngen. Gen.
Kingen, maybe?
I think it's a hard G.
Kingen? Kingen?
Kingen.
Kingen.
It's probably Kingen. Like Kingen.
Yeah. Kingen of Hanton County. And he is a merciful of 17, which I think makes a lot of sense for being Florence's chosen squire. He is pretty worldly at a 13. And he hates holding. He really hates holding. I think that just means there's kind of a to be chosen, but maybe he just hates holding.
He hates holding things. Like he
hates
really
holding
gets bothered by
God
whenever
damn
he
it.
has to hold something in his hands, it really bothers him. It's a major issue for him. So.
Mm-hmm. And he has a
With
battle
sword
of 12.
fighting, it makes life hell.
Pretty good at commanding battle, but yeah, I'm sure he's going to grow into a foppish knight, just like Sir Florence.
For sure.
We will
That's
build them in our image.
absolutely what's going to happen, I'm sure. Do either of you have anything you needed to deal with back in the home front?
With the Fae situation getting sorted, and no longer living a poor lifestyle, I think Edric's relatively okay. He would, of course, like to make friends with the Fae, but understands that if they will not help in his county, they are no longer welcome.
It's fair. That is fair.
Yeah, and for Idmiston, I don't believe there is anything unless you would like to, unless you have something that you remember. I think Idmiston's mostly been pretty alright. Not many issues.
Yeah.
I think making a bit of money, I do remember that. Other than that...
Well,
Yeah.
we're on that topic too, just to remind you guys, it's probably a little early for that, but as you start to collect money, you can start to upgrade your manor and make it more fortified. You can make it produce income. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can make it give you automatic skill checks in certain types of skills each time. Yeah.
Damn.
So that House of Man or that Book of Manors, that's where you're gonna look for that. And I think we'll naturally find ourselves in that more and more. I'm gonna strongly start to recommend it in the next couple of years because you're gonna want to have some of that for Anarchy. I'm just spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
When Anarchy hits,
Assume that would be very useful.
yeah, when literally everyone's raiding everybody, it's a good time for
Yep.
such things.
Well, I That would be nice, but unfortunately, as we all know, Edric's going to spend his hard-earned money on hookers and
Yeah.
some of that fantasy cocaine.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
We already had that long talk about cocaine when everyone thought it was muted. I'm not even sure what that was about.
I think it was about medicine
Cocaine.
or something. I don't remember. It's
It was
cocaine.
about the magic potion. But yes.
That's right, magic potion.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, otherwise, like Florence's main focus is trying to get a wife.
Okay. That's fair. And where did we leave off with Florence on that?
We left off, I believe, at the end of the feast. Uther had just given, if not completely solid, promises to the Praetor, and the rest of us had finished with the King of the Bean sending serving girls
That's
everywhere to
right.
flirt.
Florence
Right.
was bringing merriment to everyone.
So there is a score you both shall need on your sheet that we have not dealt with, and I keep forgetting to do it.
Ooh.
And I'll give you two different ways in which you can collect it. If you have an honor of 14 or more, you can choose one of these two options. If not, it's just a straight 3d6. So option 1 is straight 3d6 for Homage Uther. If you have an honor of 14 plus, you can do 2d6 plus 6 for Homage Uther.
I believe we've already done this because I have a homage Uther of 15.
I don't have it on mine.
I don't know how it came up.
I know.
Oh no, sorry, I'm looking
Edward
at
had it.
Goratrix.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Goratrix.
I was about
Like,
to
man,
say.
I'm really skilled. Why didn't I get this sort of 20? I don't know.
Yeah.
Old
I was
character.
on the wrong thing. So what was that? 3d6 or...
So 3d6 is your base one, or you can do 2d6 plus 6 if you have a higher honor, because the reflection is your king's homage matters to you. You want to see him reach his full potential, and that's
No,
why I'm
we
leaving it to
don't.
roleplay to you guys, kind of. So, if you're also like, I think both those numbers are too high, and I'm probably more of a 10, you can also do that instead. So. I think anything short of a 10, you would be famously known as someone who's contests Uther as...
Yeah,
At which,
doesn't
just
like
let me
him.
know and leave it off your sheet, and we'll see where that goes.
Be problematic.
Yeah. I think I'll do the 2d6 plus 6, because Edrich is very loyal to the realm and the king, and he saw him holding the Sword of Victory. He toasted him, led a toast about that, so I'm going to make that roll, and I'm going to see how much the very cynical Edrich likes authority.
All right.
I am going to do the same in that matter, mostly because I think Florence has already kind of been outspoken about how much he likes Uther and thinks he should be king. And it seems as if reflected in my roll.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
for
that
Florence.
tracks.
What is it? What do you think it is about Edrich?
Even with the 2d6 plus 6, I still end up with a 10.
What do you think it is about Edrich that makes that so low?
It's more... Look, here's the thing. Edrich cares about stability of the realm, and a king is wonderful for that. In the past couple of years, we've had nothing but civil wars and playing defensive keepaways with the Saxons. Things could be so much better. And that's not entirely Uther's fault, but look,
Is there some doubt there?
kings
kinda?
are a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Kings are a dime a dozen. Surely there will be some at some point which are better. Surely there will be some at some point which are worse. It's just a shame that his father didn't see the throne.
All right.
Of course, Uther's great. He's got the sword now. So I'm at least 50% on board with him.
That's fair. All right, so I think we'll begin. The two of you are called to Sarum. This is sometime in effectively like the couple weeks after. Like, it only takes you probably less than a day to get home. You probably spend a week or two at home, and then you're called back.
war.
There are rumors of organization, but no detail yet.
If it were nothing, we wouldn't be called to something like this.
That's fair. That's a fair assumption. All right. So when you get back, is there anything you wanted to do? Any specifics you need to know before you're back with your count?
Specifics, not so much. Nothing that would come up halfway through the winter phase, I don't think. Things seem to be fine. I'm just going to tell my uncle Baldric to just keep everything stable while I'm gone.
Yep, Florence is there and ready to speak to his count.
Indeed so. As far as intrigue goes, I will be every now and again checking to see where the lords and ladies of Humble Creek might be in relation to this. Is Sir Jareth here, for instance?
Fair enough. While you're keeping your wits about you as you enter Sarum, why don't you give me an awareness check?
Absolutely.
Is that for both of us?
Yes, please.
Oh, fumble on awareness.
You know what? Let's get one of those. You've been fumbling so frequently in this game, Thomas. I haven't watched the video, like some of the video replays. Let's see if we can get that out of the way early for you. So,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah.
Hopefully when I start fighting, it's going to be better.
Mhm.
I think.
say-
Sorry, go ahead, Florence.
I was going to say Florence with the uncharacteristic success on awareness.
This might make sense, and I'm going to try. I think for Edrich, you're so focused on trying to look into, seeing if there's banners. First off, you see that things are somewhat busy here, but you don't see he hasn't raised all his banners to here. This is not a muster. It doesn't look like. And you're busy while you're busy looking around for that. Florence, you swear that you hear from one of the windows in the castle, you hear cry, like a woman crying. You hear sobbing. There's weeping. I think that's what catches Florence's ear. It's from up top.
Yeah, up in the fortress castle.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's definitely a curious look upon Florence's face, and also a bit of concern. And he'd probably find himself asking a few others around. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Sounded like a woman weeping.
I don't believe so. But my attention was elsewhere. You
The
think
other,
there's trouble?
There's two others here. You'll notice, both of you notice that Perrin is not here. But your two other horse race buddies are Kenrick and Albin are present.
Hell yeah.
Buddies, might be a
Smiley
strong
man.
term. Yeah. Super.
I don't know what it is, but I'm sure Kenrick did it.
Yeah. They kind of look around confused too, and as you kind of approach, you see Sir Lad. He nods as you approach and says, "The Count is waiting for you inside."
Of course.
Of course, Sir Lad.
So, lad, if I may ask, does this by chance have to do with a woman?
No. Why? You know what? I think it's gonna misunderstand that.
Oops, say again. You cut out for a little bit.
Did I?
Only
On
for
my
me.
end.
It's
Okay.
Yeah.
He says, not everything, Sir Florence, involves women. Totally reading Florence's take wrong.
yeah.
That's I have
Edrich
no
nods
words
in
to that.
agreement.
With that, Florence just walks by.
He's like, I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
And as Florence walks away, Edrich gives a long, suffering glance to Sir Lad and goes, "I understand." Then he'll follow him after.
All right. So, as you approach, you do go in. You notice that Elvin and Kenrick follow in, but you see one knight in particular standing outside of where you're supposed to meet with the count, and seeing the four of you, he nods and he says, "This way." And then as you start to enter, he stops and says, "Actually, Sir Kenrick and Elvin, if you can wait here. Sir Florence and Edrich." Emotions.
This
nice.
sets alarm bells ringing in Edric's mind, but despite that, he does say, "Of course."
So the two of you find yourselves in front of the count. I will give you... I'll take intrigue or courtesy for this.
I know which one I'm picking.
I know which one I'm picking.
Together, we are a functional court functionary. Hell yes.
All right. So I think you both pick up on it for different reasons. I think for Florence, it's like the mannerisms of politeness that allows him to catch it. For Edrich, it's more, you can tell something's...
I'll just be one.
I will hold off on that, and I will give that back.
I'm back.
Okay. So
My sister was at the door.
No problem. All right. So for Edrich, from the intrigue angle, you know that something is certainly, like, Roderick's losing sleep over something. For Florence, you just can tell he looks pained, like something bothers him personally.
Is everything all right, my lord?
As of course, everything's fine. Now, let's
I see.
Let's get down to business.
Of course. How can we serve? And why us two specifically? If it's not impertinent to ask.
Well, it was intended to be three. It seems that Sir Perrin is busy with other matters currently.
News of his betrothed has resurfaced.
Indeed. I intend to make use of you this summer. There's plenty of opportunity. And I believe, despite your successes and fame, you have been stuck in guard duty for some time now. I wanted to present you with two options, for I feel that they'll be important to both of you and your families. Both come with glory, but in different ways. You've been invited, a small host from our county, Salisbury, has been invited up to Linden Pool specifically, under Duke Comru's keep. It seems that the king intends to march that way. You've been invited by the king himself to accompany the king and Merlin, should you wish it.
By name, or...
Kind of. He recognizes you less by name and more by duty. specifically the action of those knights who underwent the taking of the sword.
Indeed.
It's quite an honor to be given such a role to march beside the king himself.
And to be named
Indeed.
directly is very generous. What's the other option?
I know that your families, the knights that whom served your families, were quite close with Prince Madoc. Prince Madoc has been named, after his successes from last year, has been named to lead a proper counter-assault, a naval raid, on the Saxon shore. Should you wish to see combat, after me keeping you out of it for 2 years now, you may do so. This is not a test. Both are valuable.
Now, those words, "this is not a test," instantly triggers the, "oh, this is certainly a test," within Edrich's mind. Is there something, perhaps any emphasis that that Count Roderick places on the words, that he'd prefer us going? Would he be more inclined to see us go with Uther, more inclined to finally see combat after so long, and or getting stabbed by a patrol?
If you want to read it, you can do like an intrigue roll, and we'll see what you can ascertain for sure.
Another failure. Barely not a fumble.
Man,
so
20,
I just tried to
20%,
read him.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in that case, you certainly. What would you be least Actually, in follow up to that, test your suspicious, please.
Absolutely. Another failure on suspicious.
Okay. And just to test it against trusting, let's do that too.
Oh yeah.
So it's left to my.
Less bad at trusting.
Yeah, it's left to my choice. I think what this is, you didn't pass suspicious. I was going to make you actually tick suspicious if you pass that one. I think what this is that you are insecure enough about, if Edrich is insecure about the way the battle went, or if he's paranoid about anything, that's probably coming out right now. So if there's something he's insecure about specifically, that's what he's certain this test is about.
Edrich is absolutely paranoid about everything and insecure about a lot of stuff. So he's mostly going to see it as, oh, I see. It's between doing one's duty to one's king when one is directly asked to it and redeeming myself on the field of battle. He says none of this out loud, but he does say, I see. Either option is very filled with glory and honors abound. But I must admit, the choice is still a hard one.
Well, I know for one would seek to serve my king. If he has requested for us directly, I see no reason to, well, besmirch him by saying no.
Indeed so. And it would be our honor to travel alongside the king, and to assist Duke Corneus in his endeavors. Either way, we're likely to be fighting Saxons. And this way, Edrich thinks, it's less dangerous.
Alright, so he'll nod to that. I'll say, very well. Sir Lycus will be your senior knight. You'll be traveling with him. The other young knights, Sir Kenric and Sir Albin, will accompany you, though not directly by name. As for Sir Jarren, you might be wondering about his whereabouts. He was called to his brother's lands in Huntland.
I see.
With Humble Creek
it's
placed,
right near the Saxons.
Indeed. It is in fact placed very closely to where the Saxon shore is now. So, with change of borders, it's important to ensure that proper knights are readied for any challenge that might come their way.
Indeed so. And I imagine he was quite pleased with this.
He was ready for combat. He almost looks annoyed when he says he made no... there was no doubt in anyone's mind left that he was eager to see the battlefield again.
No one within earshot, or indeed all of Salisbury.
True. With that,
Yes. When do we...
there's like a knock on the door. And... I made you roll enough intrigues. I think you see someone dressed in like white garb. Clearly someone probably one of the ladies of Chirurgy here in Sarum. She says, apologies, my count. He looks up and kind of stands when he sees her. He says, I should be going. I have duties to attend to.
Of course. I wish you the best.
Your Grace.
With that, he wanders out.
My lord. All right, something's definitely up, and I'm not quite certain what it is. He says while they're in relative peace from earshot.
Out of curiosity, was the Chirurgy have any blood on them? Or were they clean?
Give me an awareness test.
I'm the king of awareness. Not. It's a 13.
By the time you kind of thought of it, they were already out of the room. They're kind of like, yeah.
Oh. Well, something's certainly going down. I imagine it involves this phantom woman I've been hearing.
Perhaps. Something was certainly bothering the Count. Perhaps not just matters of state. Though it is a stressful political arena.
Perhaps. Have you heard as if any rumors that the Count's wife might have been pregnant? With child? Sorry.
I don't believe so. And she looked normal the last time we saw her.
That's true.
Perhaps not that then. Something devastating must have happened then. Maybe not.
Perhaps. If you'd like, I can ask around, see what I can dig up relatively discreetly. It would feel a little odd to follow the Count right now, but...
Yes. Perhaps I might be able to do the same. I think you'll find I'm quite good at getting information from people. I say I'm the man with the golden tongue.
Do they? I'm sure they do.
At least, they will be soon enough. With that, he strides out of the room, confident.
Edrich runs a hand through his hair and follows along to meet with Sir Lucas and the other two, Kenrick and Alban.
Yeah, as you come out the door, I think they all kind of look to you, and Sir Lucas says, "I filled them in that the Count was offering the two of you a choice. Did you decide by chance?"
Did we
We
have?
will be accompanying the king.
Excellent. The other two look at each other, and they see Kenrick says, "The king? Like, we're going with the king somewhere?"
Something like that. North, to the borders of Duke Corneus.
Oh
The muster is
my. That's interesting.
Yes.
Sir Kenrick says.
It is. Ideally, we'll find out more while we're up there, but most likely we'll fight the Saxons on a different front.
And we'll have our king at our side, and in his hands he will wield the sword of victory.
Well, hopefully there's no real bloodshed. And then with that, Sir Lycus kind of cuts in on Kenrick and says, enough within Sarum, Sir Kenrick. Kenrick sighs. Very well, very well.
Indeed, we'll have plenty of time to discuss it while we're on the road.
All right.
Perhaps we might be able to have another race. Says with a gleeful
Please
smile.
no.
Why not? You've never fallen off a horse with everyone around. Should be fine. To be fair, you're going through a super thick forest. I mean, that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So
It's
all right.
gonna happen. Like a low-hanging branch, a Saxon throwing a javelin at some point, a giant. You're gonna fall off your horse.
Oh yeah.
All right. I think we'll go
I
ahead
think
and.
each of us.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, you go.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think each of us have fallen off a horse at some point, except maybe not Perrin, to my memory. I don't remember if he's fallen off a horse yet.
Florence hasn't. Edward did.
Got you. I was getting confused there.
Yeah, Edward had probably the worst rolls for any one given character at this point, but Edrich is quickly sneaking up on him as far as like
Yeah.
he's had almost as much roll like per session. He's had the same kind of roll luck that Edward had. So
I've discovered the secret. If the character doesn't believe they're gonna have a good time, they're not.
Yeah.
all right, I figure I'll cut over to the map here. Is there anything you want to do before you hit the road that I can fast track for y'all?
There is one thing Sir Florence would like to do before they leave the castle. He's going to take his time to chat up some of the serving girls that are around, some of the staff, and basically, in an attempt to, do his thing, flirting, joking, but also ask if they've heard anything strange happening around the area. Any wailing women or the such.
Please test flirt for me, and if you succeed, you will get a +5 to your intrigue score.
It's the man with the silver tongue. Do what he do his best. I mean, the golden tongue. Shit.
Tongue made of some variety of metal.
Well, it doesn't. You don't get the bonus, but you still get to roll.
Alright.
I was going to do something quite similar. I'd like to see what's got
Nope.
the count so high-strung.
Okay, I'll give you guys your feedback. So, what is your attempt going to look like, Edrich?
He's not flirting with the serving girls. He's asking around the various staff and like bannerets in the area about what's going on with the count, with the people he's around, that kind of thing.
Okay, give me a courtesy test for this one.
Oh no! But yes, Edrich is doing his trademark De Winterbourne Stoke swoop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Courtesy to not step
do I
on
want to
your.
activate it?
Yeah. If the
Yeah,
courtesy
not step on anyone's
reflects.
toes.
Yeah, sensitive topic.
Do
Easier.
I
It
am
doesn't
very
matter if Mark
tempted-
offended like staff, right? But you're going to
Yeah.
actual other nobles, so.
Yeah. I would like to activate a passion.
All right. What do you want
I would like to act hospitality. It's less good than any of my other passions, but it just seems more fitting, and it's only less good by one.
Okay.
Ah,
I will support that.
a failure. But that's okay. Okay,
Okay. So
let's do this.
in this case,
High failure.
okay. Ooh, oh, buddy.
Our rolls aren't great.
Yeah.
But it's
so,
not a fumble.
No. Basically, both of you kind of what you find. I think you find similar things. You exhausted your angles. One of you went to the lowborn. One of you went to the highborn. There's something going on at this castle. Everyone's clammed up about it. The moment like people are in good spirits, and then when you ask like, you know, do you know what's going on with the count, or have you seen the lady? The mood changes instantly.
I see. Then we better get going. Goodbye.
Yeah. Okay, so I think on the ride along the way, like I don't have a lot prepared for this. You're gonna go with what, 5 of you together. So maybe we'll see if there's any like really bad luck. There might be some kind of
Yeah.
encounter along the way. Um, he's going to take you not through Huntland. He's going to take you through Vidichin and up from there because it's going to stay away from the Saxon shore. No sense in getting within raider range if you can help it, or at least not easy
Howard.
raider. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you chose your mission.
No,
Um,
100%.
yeah.
100%. That's Thomas saying it.
Yeah, but Kenrick will ask, do either of you know about Duke Corneas, and the recent turmoil?
Do I?
You can make an intrigue test. I think because you're so far down, I'm gonna give you a -5 for the intrigue, but you can test it.
Alright.
Failure.
You haven't heard too much.
No, not as such. Is there anything more suspicious going on there, aside from the high concentration of Saxons?
I think it's at this point, the reason why he's taking this opportunity to talk about this is right now your overseer knight is not present, so it's like a good
Yeah.
opportunity. So Sir Lycus is up ahead, and he says, "Well, concerning more than anything, suspicious. I wouldn't use those words. The Duke faults the king in a way. If you recall, a few years back, our knights fought the Battle of Bedegrain. They claimed Bedegrain as a county where it once was a kingdom. Many of the lands between Linden and Malahut are, in fact, kingdoms still. Kingdom of Rostock, for example. Linden was loyal, very loyal to Uther, and even more so to Aurelius. But then there was the slaughter on the way to Malahut. Something that Duke Corneas protested against. Corneas is probably what it is. I've heard that he's been fairly vocal about the king's missteps in his own court.
Have these, let's say, misgivings progressed beyond mere reprimands? Do you think he's doing something untoward?
I couldn't say. I've only heard rumors about the king more than seen him, aside from his visit. But he does seem more the part of a drill sergeant than he does, or a slave driver. He wouldn't say something so cruel, but a tough leader on the battlefield, I would say.
Indeed. You've a good eye. It may be a problematic place to be a Knight of Salisbury, but I've no doubt, one way or the other, things will work out. We have Merlin, we have Uther with a sword of victory, and we have us. They don't stand a chance. Probably. Unless we get hit in the head by an axe. Stabbed while we're eating dinner.
All right, guys, we're gonna get you guys to roll a d20 each. We're gonna start with Thomas for the first leg of the journey, and the second leg will be Mark. Let's see if there's any random occurrences. A 20 is bad. It's like a fumble. So.
Dragon.
Dragon. Okay, this is my first good roll of the day. 2. It's a 10th of a 20.
All right, and then for the second leg.
Enter the dragon. 16. Not as good.
No, I think aside from a few potential missteps, your journey goes as expected. It's kind of rainy and crappy though for a lot of the trip. Not that that's abnormal for you guys.
Yeah, it's
And
England. This is good weather.
for these characters, I think you muster in Lindenpool maybe for the first time. I don't think you've been up here. This is right on the border of basically on the way to Madoc. Here, I'll just show you. I realized I wasn't pointing it out to you guys here, so this is
Yeah, we were
Linden.
on the feast map.
Yeah. Okay.
Just if my dice did love me and did hate Edrich, I would have absolutely loved it for him to have finished the sentence, get hit in the head by an axe, and then instantly rolled a 20 as a Saxon rage just plows into our sides.
Right. Okay, I think I'm just gonna take a minute here because it's a good break. We're gonna kind of set up the feast map, and we're gonna go into a bit of a feast here in Linden. It'll be a
Of
short one.
course.
Yeah. It'll be a short one. So I'll be back soon. We're back. Hello. All right, so just a few brief things before we dive into the feast. It dawned on me that you are supposed to not just meet the king there, but kind of travel with him for the last leg. So we'll kind of skip forward to that and see if there's anything that maybe happens as a lot of you are riding. I hate testing intrigue over and over and over again, so we're gonna go to awareness this time.
I really like it, but okay.
We're gonna go to awareness this time. Just see
I
what
have
you might
no
overhear.
opinion either which way. I have no opinion on the matter.
Tell my wife.
know.
Hey, another crit! You're
Tell
doing
my
good with
wife.
these, despite
Hello.
being not great.
Remember,
Yes.
those are checks, right? So, and you also, just a reminder, you get glory according to every crit at the level you crit. So
I
you
see.
get 6 glory there. You haven't
That's
done
gonna
very
mess with the round number thing we had going on.
Yeah.
Oh, this completely fucks everything. Oh, no. Alright.
You know what, Mark? Why don't you hold off on that for now? Let's do that at the beginning of the next year. I think that's fair. Because we haven't been doing it so far, and it'd be a pain to. So it'll be like
Shall
some
I-
implement in 488. We'll implement it.
Yeah.
Shall I put it in Glory Tracker regardless?
No,
Nah, don't bother.
Roger that.
we're not going to backlog. It's only going to be future
Yeah.
crits.
Understood.
Okay, so awareness for both of you. There's lots of whispering, I think, between Merlin and Uther.
Oh no.
As they're riding. The duo, the one's present. So we got Goratrix here. Cerbelius is here. And the trio's also here, but I've decided not to name them unless there's a full reason to. You're riding primarily with Lycus, and Sir Lycus asks you not to, get too close. So you find it's like you want to know more, but you're struggling to like get close enough. But there's a brief moment where Merlin calls Florence up to ask him something, and then after dismisses him, and you notice that Merlin rides with a blade like in cloth behind him. You see a sword sheath at the king's on the king's side. It is not the hilt you recall Excalibur being on.
Curious. Oh, as Florence rides up to essentially been told to go back to where he was before, just keenly take care of that as he rides in step with Sir Edrich. Strange.
So,
Seems the king does not directly wield the blade.
that seems odd. Does he fear a pickpocket? Take it from him? That was kind of the point.
Do not know who would dare to do such a thing, so I would not think that the reason. As well,
God.
Uther fears nothing.
Indeed. Regardless, well spotted. That's interesting to note.
I know.
Perhaps it's something about the blade.
There's one other figure here, by the way, I forgot to mention. You see, so this is a rather small contingent for a royal contingent, but Duke Ulfius is here from like Silchester from the March.
Hey,
Just sorry to cut off. Continue with the roleplay.
that's all good. That's a good eye. I would have thought he would have carried the sword with him, but I didn't get a good look. What did Merlin want?
Oh, nothing.
What a strange man.
Very strange. Then again, he is a pagan, so I suppose it's to be expected. Yes, I did think it quite odd.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but yes.
Yes, of course. I mean, well, Yes, of course. Well,
There are infinite paths to accepting Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior.
well, yes, but paganism is distinctly the wrong one.
Perhaps.
I know your cousin has his proclivities, but I have always been one to believe that the path of Christ is in the house of Christ, not at a bunch of stone. But perhaps that's
Indeed.
just my traditional upbringing.
Yes, there are a lot of facets that perhaps Roman Catholic. Is it Catholicism? Or is it just Christianity at this
I
point?
think it's just Christianity.
Roman Christianity.
That Roman Christianity doesn't take into account. But I will say, Stonehenge isn't exactly a Christian monument, so I completely agree.
I know, what's an odd place? Just a bunch of stone.
All right, with that, Duke Ulfius kind of slows down and starts to ride next to the two of you.
Your Grace?
Good day, Sir Knights. There were 4 of you that retrieved the sword, yes? To tell that Uther has spoken of. He kind of checks himself. The king spoke of.
There were, but Humble Creek and the Saxon shores drew 2 of our attention, Sir Perrin and Sir Jarren.
Ah, how quaint. They rhyme.
I know, right? So odd how these things happen.
Anyways, I'm Duke Ulfius. I don't think I've had the proper opportunity to meet you. It's a pleasure to ride alongside you.
And our honor, Your Grace.
Indeed.
The two of you have done this realm a great duty. I hope that you're rewarded in kind.
I hope so too. Part of it is to be brought along on this, though perhaps, if it's not too forward to ask, we've heard some whispers about, well, the place we're going. Apparently, the king and the duke have had some problems. Is there anything we need to worry about while we're there?
He looks forward. Make sure that you guys are at a good distance. You know, Sir Lycus and the other knights are riding a bit behind you. So it's just the 3 of you at this point. He says, between the 3 of us, and it stays between the 3 of us, I do not know. The king is often more truthful with me, or less discreet. But whatever him and Merlin are up to, I am not a part of it. I've heard the tension, I've heard of the tension between the Duke and the King. I believe everyone in the realm has at this point. Save for country bumpkin Salisbury.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, do you think anything is amiss? Or is it something perhaps more magical and secretive rather than political and secretive?
I think that if the king meant to come here to remove the head of the Duke, he would do so with a bigger contingent. So whatever
Indeed.
it is they're up to, it seems more pointed.
Quite so. Well, thank you for taking us into your discretion, Your Grace.
It's my pleasure.
If there's anything you should need, just let us know.
Your names, Sir Knights?
Sir Edrich of Winterbourne, Stoke.
Sir Florence of Idmiston.
Ah,
At your
Sir
service,
Florence.
Your Grace.
Yes, I've heard of you, rather. The
that is not
Baroness
surprising.
speaks highly of you.
That is certainly not surprising to hear. She has certainly made herself the gem of my eye.
He gives like a look to that, and he kind of smiles.
Truly a wonderful woman.
You could do worse.
That is an interesting choice of words. I've noticed there is an interesting air whenever people brings up my relationship with the great Baroness. Is there
Pomponia.
perhaps? Yeah, we're great. Pomponia. Is there perhaps something I should be aware of?
Admittedly, I've noticed that too, but I assumed it was for entirely different reasons.
So long as you're able to keep her happy, and I'm sure that there won't be any trouble, really. I would caution you against upsetting her.
I see. I certainly don't plan to do anything like that.
Edrich raises an eyebrow as if to non-verbally say, "What the hell does that mean?"
And with that, he says, you hear Uther say, Ulfius, where are you? And he says, I need to go back. So Knights.
Thank you, Your Grace.
All right.
It
Edward.
sounds like he was saying that she was going to have you killed, Edward. Sorry, Florence.
What a preposterous statement are you doing? I mean, no.
And
Anyway.
it
should be fine. Feast time! Feast time!
All right. So as you arrive at Linen Pool, why don't you go ahead and give me your appearance rolls?
Oh, my appearance. It used to be so high, and now it's just insanely high.
Oh
no! Oh, no!
Now you roll again, right? To see
I
if
roll
you
again.
Yes. It's highly unlikely that you fail.
Okay, I
Yes, so
succeed.
you're just below the salt rather than
Yeah.
on the floor.
Well, I wonder what Florence would think of that, having been so like he's been basically spent the last 3 years thinking he was like the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
This is the first time that he's had to face like not being at the top, actually. So we have you're not on the floor though.
Yeah.
Edric's near the salt and you're below.
I think there's probably a moment where Florence is like, this can't be my seat, is it? Is it?
Yes, Sir Florence, correct?
Yes, the Sir Florence. Surely you've heard of me, have you not?
I'm sorry, my lord. We don't ask questions. This is just your arrangement for the night.
See. How disappointing. With that, he just kind of sits and kind of looks around, realizing how far away he is from the salt. Never been in this predicament before. What has happened to me?
What makes it worse is that the Baroness is above the salt. She's here.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florence, the moment he became a knight, he went straight from being on the floor with the other squires to like above the salt or literally sitting next to the host. It's just that pretty.
You do witness as your arrival, as the king arrives and is given the host seat, or the guest seat, which is interesting. He's not given the host seat.
Indeed.
Which you've witnessed everyone else doing for him. But he is not. Duke Ulfius is seated there, and then his knights, the knights that are here to serve him, are... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I just pressed the button on accident. Are given seating around him to protect him. But you notice that they intend to sit Merlin... the Duke intends to sit Merlin on the floor. And the king gets irate about that and says, no, I'm afraid that's not the case. Merlin is my direct guess. And so he'll be sitting with me. but there's definitely a bit of tension between the two. And Merlin sits down along with the king.
What kind of weirdo looks to the second most powerful man in all the kingdoms, and perhaps the first most powerful in terms of sheer magical might, and goes, you know what? He can sit with the dogs and the squires. That's where he goes.
Thomas, a Christian.
Yeah.
If I were a Christian and Lucifer himself walked into my house, you know I'm either going to try and hit him or I am going to make sure he doesn't get offended.
It's fair.
Crits on the next. Okay, so we have Sir Kenrick is below the salt with you, Florence. So you sit down, and sure enough, Sir Kenrick ends up there, and he looks just as annoyed as you do.
How can they do this to us? It's just them.
But they're not rolling, so I'm gonna keep them off there. So Kenrick is below the salt. Alban is near the salt. Wait, is Kenrick or Alban? No, Alban is below. Alban is expecting to be below the salt, and that is where he landed. So he doesn't look as shocked by it. And then Sir Lycus, though, is seated closer to the others. He's a bit of a named knight, and he's also a representative of the Count directly. So he had some bonuses there. All right, and so that's the beginning of the feast. Let me cut over music because we're on horseback sound effects right now. That isn't helpful.
Yeah. Horses in the feast.
Horse feast. It's my favorite kind. It's like the unicorn clan in L5R. They eat on their horses even in court. It's weird. Not really. All right, so let's start with Edrich. We're gonna do 3-round feast. Sounds good.
All right. Now, see, here's the thing. So I firmly believe that Mark has soaked up my bad luck. So I'm going to draw a card and see what happens before I get into my intriguing.
I'm gonna go 2-round feast
Yep.
actually for this because it isn't Christmas. It's not.
Yeah, it's a short
Not
thing.
Easter.
Yeah. But also bold what was it?
Yeah, I know.
Bold
It's,
assumption.
Yeah, bold display of hubris. But honestly, respect to all the people who felt a hubris, but I'm different. Perhaps better. Perhaps better even than the gods. Great
You know?
deeds. Okay. Several knights ask you to tell of your great deeds. Roll modest versus proud. If modest wins, my humility pleases the knights and I gain glory. If proud wins, I roll orate, which isn't as high as I want it to be, because I thought compose was orate. And on success, I gain 10 glory, and on a fumble, I get -4 geniality.
I'm going to add something interesting here.
Okay.
On the way into the feast, Merlin looks at the two of you and just says briefly, "We needn't spoil the surprise." And he winks and then walks off. Interpret that as
Right.
you will.
I think with that, Florence leans over to Edrich and goes, "Do you know what he means with that?"
The sword. We shouldn't mention it until it gets brought up.
Oh. But he's just being weird.
Perhaps.
Cold meat slices and ginger sauce comes out.
That doesn't sound bad. That sounds kind of like sashimi. I'd eat that with soy sauce.
You know.
Cold meat slices. It just makes it sound bad. But yeah, let me roll modest versus proud. Now, I would like modest to win, because I'm much more proud than I am modest. Of course. Of course, the universe wants me to die.
Roll orate, good sir.
Okay, I would love to. With my orate of 3. Bob, I want to activate a passion.
Okay. What do you wanna? What do you do? Honor or what are you doing?
I will do honor. I will do honor. I could roll hate Saxons, but no, I'm gonna do honor, and I hope I don't fumble. Okay, success on that. So let's try of orate. Hey, success here.
And now that's normally under 5, right? You're right.
Yes.
So you can auto take
It is
that.
3. Thank you very kindly. But yes, Edrich hears a bunch of people above the salt talking about their great deeds, and by the time it gets around to him, he's like, "Oh, you know what's really cool? You know what's really, really cool? Getting that damn sword." But his mind kind of goes, "No, shouldn't mention it. Shouldn't mention it." So he shifts to one of the more successful battles he's been in. That one time he stabbed a Saxon and only got hit a little bit.
I do have a question on that though. Knowing that your most, like, your highest glory thing is certainly the sword, and succeeding at the proud, would you not go that route?
May I roll something else?
What do you want to know?
I would like to roll prudent, because I don't want to piss off. I don't want to piss off the great druid of England. But on the other hand, he's away.
Yeah, Merlin can't hear you from where he is. I mean, you're pretty far.
Yeah, exactly. So let's
see how it goes. You're just talking to Knights of Logris. I mean,
Edric's pretty prudent at this point. I think he's going to split the difference between the two. It's going to be the killing of the giant.
Okay.
He's going to leave out what happens at the end. But he's definitely going to be, yes, there it was, as tall as one of the trees it was using as a club. And someone fell off his horse, who can say who? But we surrounded it, started hacking at it. Bits and pieces flying off. Let me tell you, the most dangerous part of it was when it actually died, falling and almost crushing one of our compatriots.
They seem to eat it up, right? Because you get that 10 glory for that. One of them's like, remarkable, and there's a big clap, and you kind of notice at the end of it, Merlin kind of walks by from the distance and just gives you a nod, a smile. It's kind of really eerie. It's just kind of keeps going. Okay, with that, we'll go to Florence. You get 10 glory for that. Make sure you note that.
Yep.
Florence is, I think, of course, going to draw a fuck me up card.
No.
Not much else for him to do at the moment.
Yeah.
He's still kind of pouty.
Well, the Baroness is here, but fair enough. Just want to note that.
Oh, that's round 2 stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Who needs to think ahead?
Just verify.
Ooh, a chance encounter.
Ooh, oh Lord, this is perfect.
A beautiful
for you.
lady passes by.
How do you get all these cards as Florence? How do you get every one of these?
No.
It's so good.
The deck knows.
I know.
It knows.
Oh man.
If Chase wins, that's very good. Because that's an immediate 4 geniality.
But if it doesn't win, I may just get a son.
You may get a son, and Pomponia may kill you.
She doesn't need to find out about it.
Yeah.
No one needs to know. Chase. Success. I don't think Lustful can win unless it crits. Who the fuck knew?
Oh my god! The moment you said that, the universe just decided, yes, I know how I'm going to do it.
For Florence, I think this is literally just any excuse to get away from being below the salt.
I love it because it's like, brother one, the bastard brother is like, I will do anything to ensure that I never have a bastard.
Mhm.
His half brother's like, hey man, you know what? I decided to have a bastard because I was really tired of sitting below the salt.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta admit, Florence is definitely his father's son.
It's proven in that way.
Without a doubt.
Good times.
That's great.
All right, so you are removed. That's interesting. That puts a lot of pressure on Edrich. We'll find out why in a second here. So,
Edrich turns to Florence to see he's fucking gone.
What? Where did he? I looked away for 5 minutes. Where did he? He's like a lighthouse. His head reflects the sun. Where does he go when I don't look at him?
How do you lose a guy like that?
Let's test something here.
Wherever he is, I hope he's not doing anything fully considered.
So no direct notice. That's in your favor.
No direct notice. That's very good.
Okay. Does anything else happen here? No, I think I'm gonna hold on to that for now. We're gonna go right into round 2 for Edrich. Your second round.
That sounds like something that I should be suspicious about. Tell me what you have planned.
No, sir.
This works all the time when I was my investigator.
The 4 heroes that brought the sword of victory to us, and it's just fucking Edrich.
Just like halfway through eating his roasted crane, and he's just like, what? Okay. So, with this being my final round, and no one else around to do the thing, what I'm going to do is I would like to try and listen to rumors and such. I want to know precisely what the atmosphere is between Duke Corneus and Uther, or like what's going on, why Uther's so cagey about all of this. And I will admit, getting close to Uther will be a problem. Getting close to me wouldn't.
Okay, so what is give me the summary on that. What are you thinking? What's your
under the guise of catching up with my cousin, and I really don't want to voice myself talking to myself, I do that enough as NPCs. I'd like to see what I can do to find out what Uther's like doing, what the whole deal is, why Corneus and Uther are having problems, and like what secret is being kept. Alternatively, if I can't reach Goratrix, I'd like to get it from someone else. And if that's too hard, I want to look into Baroness Pomponia. I absolutely do.
You can probably reach Goratrix because you're near the salt, so you can reach Goratrix. Yeah. He's your cousin. No one would fault you there. But I'm not gonna say that Goratrix for sure knows. That's the one thing we're gonna have to test afterwards. So
yes,
and there will be no. He will not impassion himself for that one.
Of course not.
He'll know or not know, kind of thing. We'll do the intrigue test after.
Is the thing. Despite being terrible at intrigue, he's still a Winterbourne Stoke, so...
Yeah. We'll start with, I think, Edrich's intrigue test.
Absolutely. And what's my geniality? 3. Just don't fumble. There we go. Oh, it wouldn't have been a crit. But yes, success. 17 of 19.
Okay. So you're going to reach him. You're going to ask what's going on. I'm going to let you go ahead and test for Goratrix.
Absolutely. Now, I haven't been keeping track of his geniality, but it would likely be 2 if he's above the
Not a player character, so he's not going to get geniality.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. When last I left him, his intrigue was a grand total of 9. Let's do this.
Not terrible. It's just a terrible roll.
So I think what you find out is he doesn't have. So you're first off, you probably already had intrigue check because this is like our 3rd episode in 47. I think what you find out is that it's not really clear. Like Goretrix just suggests that the king and the duke are beefing ever since Malahut.
Yeah, it's really weird.
484, I think, would be, what you gather. It's you know what it is? I think Goretrix. So even though Goretrix fails intrigue, I think it'd be interesting because you get something, right? You succeeded at intrigue. So I think what Goretrix just nonchalantly mentions is like, yeah, I remember when we came through here on the way north, to go assist Malahut, the Duke had wanted to not waste our resources on Malahut, and the king insisted.
I see.
And it was like he does it in that very that was not an important detail to Goretrix.
Exactly. I don't pay attention to that stuff. Yeah. The fighting came afterward. That was the important bit. Yeah. But yeah, thank you, cousin. And it's good to see you.
For what?
And then he does the Winterbourne swoop and just goes back to his seat.
All right. Okay, so the tone seems to change a little bit here. Just give me a sec here. Make sure I get this right. Things are going well. You're into round 3. We'll give you a quick test, Edrich. I'm curious to see if you notice that Florence is missing.
Awareness?
Yeah.
I'm not going to add my geniality because I don't think it's a courtly skill. Fumble.
You don't.
Oh god.
That'll be really interesting because the Baroness approaches you at that point and she says,
yes.
So Edrich.
Just one moment. I'm so sorry. Someone's at the door. I'll be right back. Okay, good.
I'm
back. Sorry about that.
No worries. Okay, so the Baroness says, Sir Edrich.
Baroness Pomponia. A pleasure.
Pleasure. I haven't seen Sir Florence. Did he come today?
He did. He was seated below the salt. He made a bit of a hubbub about it. I'm not quite sure where he is now. He was here for the first course, but I couldn't find him in the second.
I see. Huh. Well. Let's see. She's not that reckless, so. 12.
He's a surprisingly sneaky man.
She says, I'm sure he's fine. Hopefully he's feeling better, anyways.
Of course. The last time I lost sight of him, I had to talk someone out of fighting a duel. But yes, I'm sure he's fine.
So yeah, I think her prudence will win. She's going to stay here because otherwise she would have to exit the feast, and clearly there's more going on.
Yeah.
You did roll success. I think so. You did look into that with Goretrix. I'll give you a little bit more because I could have given you like a general intrigue that I didn't give you. You kind of catch some rumors that supposedly the Duke thinks of Uther is arrogant. Right? And asks too much of his subjects.
Yeah. How dare he be accurate in his judgments?
Yeah, right? Who would ever say that about Uther? Who would ever think that about Uther? Yeah.
That's impossible.
Impossible, yeah.
Him fail England? That's impossible.
Interesting. Okay. 1 sec.
Normally I'm so good at awareness, and she was at a 14, which isn't anything to sniff at, but Florence just vanished into the ether,
Gone.
along with this beautiful lady.
So like as the dinners come to an end and the entertainment's out now at this point, there's a bard singing.
Are we supposed to eat these cardamom pods to aid with digestion? How does...
Uther stands up at this point, and he says, he starts looking around, and then you see him and Merlin kind of whisper to one another. Do you want to try and overhear it?
Without being obvious about it, yes, of course. Edrich loves noticing the tea. So, awareness?
Please.
Success.
Okay. 1 second.
Oh, I forgot to be adding my thingy-majiggy to the other stuff. My passion bonus. But that's okay. It would be a success regardless.
Right? Okay.
The awareness would have been a crit, but that's neither here nor there.
Going to take a real brief break. Just having a technical issue here. Let's see if I can fix it. Be
Roger
right
that.
back.
Now.
We're back. Sorry
It is
about
the
that,
day
guys.
of my 21st birthday, and I was interested
You're
in
live.
being knighted. Right.
just letting you know.
I get pistis.
Sorry about that. Okay, so I fixed that. I was having a glitch with something phrasing on my end, and I couldn't see what was actually going on. That was not helpful.
Oh, good.
We don't get those all the
Difficulties
time
happen to
anymore.
us all.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
it's come a long way. Okay, so now that we're back, after the singing and stuff, the king stands up and starts to look around, and Merlin and him are whispering. And the king says, "Where are they, Merlin? Point to me, the knights. I must hear of the tale of the Sword Lake.
Edrich, just like poking at this stick of cinnamon, goes, "Oh, gods be good."
Merlin smiles and says, I see one of them now. Sir Edrich.
Knowing that it's impolite to glare daggers at the magician of Logris, Edrich swallows whatever was in his mouth and then nods. Indeed, my druid, your excellence.
Uther says, Good, yes, Edrich. Excellent. Tell us, this hall must hear of the adventure of Sword Lake. Please, speak it.
Wonderful.
Before you do,
Oh, yeah?
you may choose first to attempt a compose roll. Should you fail, no big deal. Should you succeed, a +5. Should you crit, +10. Should you fumble, -5. And then you may attempt orate or singing in response.
Compose, you say?
Yes.
Compose is one of the best things I have.
There you go.
I have written the spoken word poem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
You're that guy that goes into freestyle rap, but you've already written all your hooks, so you know what you're doing.
Well, it's
All
the,
your
it's
bars
the
are
best way
prepped.
to do things.
Yeah.
It's the
It's
best way
already-
to do things.
It's already laid down as like a recording from 2 years ago that no one heard.
I thought we might have a rap battle at this point, so...
Well, that's in
all right, let's
our next
see.
campaign when we do the Knight's Tale version of
Mhm.
this.
Success on compose.
All right, so now you get a +5, and you may choose singing or orate. If you're singing, obviously
My
you're...
orate...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing it in verse. As it is, my orate is better if by 1. My main bonuses will happen from the other stuff, which is 5 from impassion, 5 from geniality, right?
You don't get round 2's geniality yet. Technically you do because the feast is over, actually.
Yeah, the
So-
feast ended.
Actually, you don't get geniality because the feast is over.
Because the feast has ended.
Yeah.
All right, 5 from that and 5 from that, which brings it up to a 13. 5 from that and 5 from the success on the compose. All right, let's see how things go. Success. And it would have been a crit. No, it wouldn't have. It would
It
have
doesn't
been a
matter. You
success.
tick it anyways.
Yeah.
You're gonna tick it, and
Already
you get,
been ticked.
please mark 10 glory down. And why don't we get you to do
Yeah.
this in detail? Because I think it's interesting. I think the detail might matter. So, if you do want to give the description of.
It began as we were on patrol along the western borders of Salisbury. It was there that we saw a man who had lost his sheep. We tracked it, but then we found it in the clutches of a giant. I've told many of you the story of how we slew it. And after that, when it disappeared into the mists that surrounded us, we saw standing there the Merlin. He asked for our assistance, like passing over the "you'll do, come with me" aspect of it. And we followed into a place where reality bended and shifted and warped. We slew something called a Leshy, a 4-armed creature that ran like a horse and fought like a man. Made entirely of plants. It cut like one, too. We traveled with him to the edge of a lake, pristine and beautiful, unlike anything I'd seen before. And then we saw him go out on a rowboat, and we saw the water break. And from out of it, an outstretched hand belonging to a maiden, and within it, the sword of victory.
The king smiles specifically at you and nods like you had just set up the perfect segue for what this is all
That was
about.
my intention.
And he says, excellent, excellent. What a wonderful story. Merlin, says the king, can you please tell us more about this sword? And Merlin says, if you ask it of me, my king. Merlin will stand before the Duke and the court. That bulge at the back of his robes that I think just Florence noticed last time. He says, "The sword is a very old tale. When I say old, I don't mean the Romans, no, before the Romans, no, before humans. It was a time before time. A great star fell, a rock that landed upon these lands, and in that time, those who inhabited it, they recovered the stone, and from it, they crafted a great sword. The sword Excalibur, the sword of victory. With it, the realm would be united by a great king, the one who bears it, and all his subjects would kneel before him in awe." And with this, there's a bit of mist that's going around Merlin, and it kind of obscures, like in a, in almost like a tail-like way. He reveals the sword, and as he pulls it out, holding it like this to his king, everyone kind of gasps at the sight of it, because the mist, not only the mist, but all the shadow in the place leaves. There's like not a shadow to be seen. The room isn't completely illuminated, and the king walks over to Merlin, nods once, and takes it, raising it up over his head. For you, Thomas, who witnessed this, your homage has just gone up by 10.
Oh, am I being mind controlled?
No, not at
I
all.
really like it, regardless. But yes, my homage is now at 20.
The Duke Cornelius, when the sword comes out, he looks surprised and he wanders over, kind of steps up, almost doesn't mean to, but like stands, moves forward at its marvel. But when it reaches the king's hand, he falls to a knee before him and lowers his head and says, "My king." There certainly seems to be a spiritual aspect here that the subjects who've sworn fealty to Uther can't help but feel. The only reason Florence isn't is because he's busy boning somebody upstairs.
Homage at 26 would have been insane.
It would have.
All right.
But yes, regardless, Edrich is, despite this being the third time he's seen the sword, if the second time unsheathed, it's still mystifying for him. It's still a piece of the heavens, of the old stories, come out and held in the hands of the king. Where he was lukewarm before, now he's much more forgiving.
Please test spiritual for me, good sir.
Absolutely. May I add my passion bonus to it?
You may.
Success. Glad I did. That would have been a mild failure.
Okay. So with a spiritual of 12 and the success, you may tick spiritual.
Hell yeah.
As you feel moved by this too. Something about the way the king commanded it was different than the last 2 times you've witnessed the sword. It drew something like obviously with the +10 bonus, right? It drew a sense of one king, one land in your mind. In your heart.
Indeed.
More than in your mind.
It belongs to him in some way.
It's as if the sword belongs to the realm, and Uther is the one fit to rule.
It is just right.
With
This-
that,
yeah.
just before, Merlin says one more piece in response to it, and he says, "All pay notice to King Uther, the one true king. And so, in one realm, should he have it, so long as he proves just." Give me... No, I'm not even going to make you test this. You sense like the most slight sense of question.
The slight bit of doubt with the thing at the end. Like,
Yeah.
maybe he won't be. Edrich picks up on that, the perennially suspicious. Even in this moment of absolute awe, his eyes like go from the sword and like flickers over to him. And then like flicks back.
Right.
But yeah. The last time this happened, Edrich called for a toast. This time feels much more awed and quiet. Simply because it is the start of the Great Realm. One Britain.
You get 15 more glory for witnessing Lindsay's submission.
Oh yeah?
The Duke's submission.
What's Lindsay?
That's the Duke of Lindsay, is what he is. Lyndon.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
I was like, who's Lindsay? Did we fight them?
Sorry, yeah. he's referred in the original book as like Duke Lindsay, and then he's Duke. They actually give him a name, Duke Renice.
Gotcha. All right, it is done. Well, that's how they referred to nobles. They were duke of the place that they rule, or count of the place that they rule. Fortunate that they broke from that pattern for the kings. Otherwise, it would have been, oh yeah, we're fighting with King England. This is
Right.
King France.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't
Most of them didn't have names in the original one. They're just like King Pendragon, King. You know what I mean? Duke this, Duke that.
King of this hill.
Yeah. All right. So the king, I think the following morning maybe we'll skip to. I think that makes sense. I think we're gonna need to with Florence.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Florence coming back in, the Edrich going, "So, what did I miss?"
You left me alone with these people. Florence.
To be fair, Edrich. Nope, don't have anything.
That's all I have. I'm sorry. Yeah. Good
In my
times.
defense, I can't think of something at the moment.
In my
but-
defense, really
Alright.
wish I should have thought of something.
All right. So, on that particular note, you receive notice, Edrich, for the next morning that the king will see the two of you.
Edrich will go with all due haste. He will try and find Florence.
Florence buckles his pants. Then makes his way to the king.
Was that a serving girl? What was the card?
It was a
We never
beautiful
decided.
lady.
Yeah.
Beautiful lady
beautiful-
suggests
Yes.
Beautiful lady.
Suggests nobility.
nobility. Exactly. So we need to know who her father is, because I still haven't done one for.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Beautiful lady. You are at the king's court, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone like demands satisfaction of Florence, and Edric's like, it was one night. Where would he have found the time?
All right. Give me a D20 roll, Mark, and like a 16 plus is gonna be like an important named character's daughter. Otherwise, it'll be a nobody. Not a nobody. It'll be just a random.
Yeah,
roll.
someone we don't know.
Yeah.
Some we don't
That's
know.
not. I wanted it. I wanted it to be someone we didn't know.
I did too.
Sir Druce's daughter. We'll give her a name in a second. I just gotta roll the chimeric female names.
Really love
Oh,
family.
this is someone
Dorset.
who loves his family and is very cruel. This is bad.
Of Dorset.
Dorset.
Was she married?
That's actually
Wait,
a
no.
key
20.
question.
Even equals yes.
A 50-50 chance? Oh god! No!
Oh,
That's Okay, so you got
gonna
two
be-
people up for your blood.
It's gonna be awkward because it's literally gonna be like two dark-haired people, and the child is gonna be born with like blonde hair.
Yeah, shining
Let's
blondness.
go see where Dorset is real quick, and then we'll give her a name.
I'm pretty sure Dorset is near
Dorset.
Cornwall, right?
No, it's right due south of you.
Oh,
Well, kind of. If you count
it's
the Duchy
literally-
of Cornwall, yes. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's near Cornwall.
it's
but yeah,
literally right
Yeah.
under us.
and so
that's not great.
Jaggins,
No.
Ascalon, and Tintagel are the Duchy of Cornwall, right? These three.
Yeah.
And then Cornwall as a kingdom is over here. Good times.
Oh.
I love it.
This is Humble Creek all over again, but we've swapped roles. This time
Yeah.
I'm the dour and serious person.
Well, let's see if I can get you blamed for this as well.
It's not a good Arthurian tale without like a bunch of bastards running around. So.
That's true.
I'm imagining like two incredibly angry people, one of them lord of a household and another a landed knight, just like throwing down the gauntlet in front of Edrich while he's eating and saying, I demand satisfaction. Edrich's like, well, I'm not going to satisfy you. Get out of my face.
That's what I loved about when Game of Thrones like got popular. People were like, man, this is so edgy. Like all these new these concepts that no one would have ever touched in literature, like incest and betrayals, like these deadly betrayals.
These fanciful terms of
Yeah.
nobility just going around fucking everything they come across and having 1,000 bastards.
Meanwhile, everyone that's ever been into
Yeah.
these tales, is
Everyone
like,
that's ever
uh-huh.
held a title.
Sorry, I've got female correct names. There we go.
Modron.
Modron.
Isn't Modron a type of lawful neutral creature in D&D?
Could
I
be.
think so.
Yeah, it's like a clockwork cube.
That can't be a concern at all. You should be fine. So, lady.
Yeah, it should be good.
All right. Well, we know that one now. There you go.
Right.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. So, the next morning, the king will see the two of you.
To Florence, I lost sight of you. You left me alone with these people, and I had to make a speech.
Oh, really? Yes, I was preoccupied at the time. Tell me, Turnus, anything important? I know the king called for us. So.
Yes, he called on us to tell the story of how we got Excalibur, and then drew it. There was a great expression of fealty. It was glorious.
I see. Well, I trust that you didn't bomb.
I think it was fine.
Good.
But yes. Where shall we meet with him again?
I believe it was over here. Oops, wrong door.
It doesn't take long
This one
to...
doesn't have a This one doesn't have a king standing behind it.
The king says, I don't think I've had the opportunity to thank the two of you. And there are others, right? There were others. Two others, I believe.
Yes, Your
Indeed.
Majesty.
Sir Perrin of Durnford, and Sir Jarren of Newton Manor.
Ah, yes.
They rhyme.
I've heard
Their
of Newton
names
Manor.
Yes, I'm sure you have. I was squired there, in fact.
I have a matter to deal with again down south. I was hoping that perhaps I could entrust you and the other Knights of Salisbury to see to a matter for me up north. So, out of character, you
find
are
none
as
more fair.
far north in Logos as you can be. Up north would mean
Yeah.
leaving the kingdom, just
Yeah, exactly, and going up into Scotland.
going up into
You'll find-
North England. Or so.
Yeah. You'll find none more faithful than the Knights of Salisbury. But, what mission would this be?
Well, I think it's important that matters be delivered to the King of Malahut. The Centurion King may not be fully aware of this tale of the sword. I think it's important that he treats with my representatives who can tell the story firsthand. After all, you've seen the sword now, 3 times?
Indeed, but only wielded with its rightful hand twice.
Yes. 3 times.
Edrich just like turns.
What is that? What is that quirkiness in? Just so I have some Sir Florence understanding here. Is he?
Florence didn't see it 3 times. He's only seen it twice.
See it the other time.
Yeah, he wasn't
He
there
wasn't
last night. Yeah. He says, very good. He just raised a brow at Florence, like he catches the response, but not really understanding it. I was hoping that you could tell him about the Sword of Victory on my behalf. I do not have time to travel up there myself to show him.
It would be our honor. Though, when we tell him of it, what reaction should we be looking for?
I don't necessarily expect him to fully understand, but he should be aware of the tale. If not him, then his advisors. I hope that he would then honor our alliance as of a few years back and travel south to see me.
Is that
course.
something we should preference to him when we meet?
I would prefer such, yes. I believe so.
In that case, it will be our honor.
I hope that the two of you are not alone. There are other Salisbury Knights that can accompany you.
There are. 3 of them have come with us, and I'm sure at some point, perhaps in a future episode, the others who are with us on that mission can join us. But
Jeez.
England's a big place.
But we have nothing but the finest knights from Salisbury.
Indeed so.
Good. Yes, good. Well then, you have my orders. I wish you the best. I march south now. We wish to draw some attention to our borders.
Indeed. I wish you good fortune in the wars against the Saxons, Your Majesty.
If all goes well, this summer I believe will be Saxon ready for a proper removal of the Saxon threat.
Yes.
We can only
Edrich,
hope.
kind of has a brief flashback.
All right.
We can only hope.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna touch on that brief flashback actually. So.
Oh,
yeah.
I summoned it. I said it, and I summoned it.
You did. I was gonna throw it in like a little on the road, but we're gonna do it here. So, I just gotta check which one she's from. Give me a second. I gotta find out what was the name of the giant Eosa. That was his name. Where is Eosa?
Oh, of course, it's the one that killed my cousin's friend.
Giant Dira. Yeah, I thought it was Dira. So if you recall on the map here, let's do this way.
That explains why she was so large.
So Edrich, do you see on the map here? This is Dira.
Yes.
It was
Dira.
these two that caused you threat, Octa and Eosa.
Indeed. So we're going right next to where it is.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But in your mind, you're literally visiting there right now because you find yourself being led in chains off the sea vessel. Give me a con roll to not throw up. You were on the sea, wavy sea, and you probably haven't spent a lot of time off the island outside of that. So
Absolutely not. Success.
you're still sick, but you don't have to lose it in the process.
And like the whole time, it's don't vomit in front of these people. Don't vomit in front of these people. Don't vomit in front of these people.
With that, she looks to you and says, "You did really well, and I didn't have an opportunity. I wanted to say thank you."
It was nothing. Anyone would have done the same in my place. It would have been easier without my hands tied. But no, you're welcome.
I'm sorry that it will come to this. My cousin is ruthless. If your manners are good and you speak with truth, may you find the best.
It's the nature of war, I suppose. Thank you for your warning. I'm sure it will be fine. And like a faint smile, which isn't quite one, just kind of like a...
That, yeah, the meme we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
Nacho Libre smile.
Yeah. Whatever else. And the smile is slightly more genuine. Thank you, Oslav. As far as captors go, you've been very good.
She smiles. Best of luck. It's clear she's trying to like prepare for you probably to die here. And then with that, a couple of the knights, or not knights, a couple of Saxons grab you. They're big, burly guys. They pick you up and they start to haul you towards the main tent. When you get here, you see a very, very, very large man turn to face you. It is, in fact, Iosa.
Edric's standard for large people is Goratrix, and this man stands almost a half again as tall as that. And a brief flash of fear covers his face before he tries to cover it. And instead, malnourished and just straight off, like I assume, like a couple of days boat ride on stormy weathers, goes,
Yeah.
"Good evening."
Edrich, yes? He says, very broken. Kimrick,
Yes.
you... Winterbourne Stoke, he says, motioning to your symbol on your arm. Or on your shield. Your coat of arms, basically.
Yeah. I don't have my shield with me, but I'm probably like wearing some like tattered bits.
You sure you don't? He has your shield.
Would they have given me a shield?
No.
Oh, he has my shield. Got you.
It's like
Got
in
you.
front of you. It's like ready for you when you get here.
Got you.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot more sense. Yes, that's my house.
Do you want to die?
No. No, I don't. Is that up to me?
If you said yes, I would have removed your head.
Well, and I'm glad I didn't.
You have time still to serve your honor, he says. But first, you will be used. I will have returned to me one of mine that you keep. and you will go back to your family in shame.
Yes. Yes, I suppose I will. This can be arranged. I'm at your mercy. He's like looking around. Is there no easily available sword to stab into a guy that large?
And you see in him like probably the biggest axe you've ever seen. And this is the guy with the magical axe, right? So it's a very profound axe sitting in his hand. Good. I will send notice to your family then. In Salisbury.
Salisbury. Edric's not particularly... he's got Valorous 15, same as many knights, but it's just mostly Edric's innate personality that, of course, you're going to correct your captor's spelling.
Mm-hmm. You should know one more thing. Your cousin serves the king directly. King Uther.
He does?
But before that, he served Salisbury.
He did.
And this king, this brother, or this cousin, he says, this cousin had a friend. One that tried to kill me.
Edmund. I've heard the stories. Most have.
Thank you. I needed to know his name.
Indeed.
For what it is worth, should his family wish to know, I have never had my life threatened more than that night.
Aw, that's very sweet. Edric nods solemnly and says, should I make it back home? I'll let them know. This is more honor than Edric expected.
Mm-hmm.
He was expecting him to literally pick him up and hit him against the side of the wall. But no, he's showing respect for one's fallen adversary.
He is honor 15, my friend.
Yeah, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he is a Saxon.
Oh.
He's seeing more sides to them than he ever thought he would, and it's making him confused. Well, thank you, Your Majesty.
Okay, so, he says, but first, you must survive our hold.
What fun. Like a humorless smile forms on Edric's pale face, all teeth.
All right. I already tested con.
Could
I'm gonna
test
test-
size.
No, I'm gonna test con again. I'm gonna see how you survive the next week of the hold, which is a brutal dungeon.
I would like to request something for this flashback.
Yeah.
Could I draw on my love of family to attempt to withstand the brutal conditions?
Sure.
Because I love my family a lot, so I better not fail or fumble. The complete opposite of a fumble, or rather, the complete opposite of a 20.
All right.
With an 18, does that give me anything special, or is it still just a +5?
Just a +5, I think, until crit. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think it's 20
All right.
is the big
It's
shift.
20 when it levels up.
Yeah. All right. Hey,
There you go.
success.
All right, so you tough it out. Like, it's still not easy. You're not healing as well as
Yeah.
you could be here, right? But you're not getting
Yeah.
worse, and you're not, you're toughing the
Surprise,
dungeon
surprise!
out.
Saxon medicine in the dungeons aren't great.
And you actually, you're not the only captive here. There are other captives, and you hear them speaking. One of them is from Malahut. I'm just gonna give him the name. So, Maiden, I guess. Sir Maiden, and Sir Lone.
Yeah, that sounds
So-
wrong.
Uh-huh.
Maiden and Lone.
Or is that Ion? I bet it's Ion.
I think it's Ion. Yeah.
Yeah.
You sound very
Yeah.
wise.
Ian, I bet it's that, right?
Yeah.
So Ian can actually be from. Oh yeah, that's great. Sir Maiden of Huntland County is one of your immediate neighboring things.
Indeed.
So that couldn't be more perfect because Lady Osliv comes to check on you like once a day. You are being fed better than what they're fed here, unless you protest.
He doesn't protest, but he would try and share what he can with them. Edrich is not particularly hardy, but also everyone needs to be at their best or they're gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
But yes, as much as he is appreciative of the better food, if it's just him, he's gonna get his head bashed in by a rock.
Okay, so yeah, they'll. I think you get to know Sir Maiden and Sir Ian somewhat well. But on the last visit, the Osliff says, Sir Edrich? Or she just says Edrich?
Edrich stands and, looks toward her. Yes? Yes, Osliff?
You will be free tomorrow. The ransom has been approved.
Right. Right. Well, I can't say I'll miss this place. He looks to his fellow prisoners and
They're not in the same
just
cell, so you can't actually see them.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
got
like in.
you, got you.
So picture those cells where you could certainly slide your food over to them, but you can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I can't see them.
Yeah.
He looks at the walls, but then his eyes flick back to Osliff. Thank you for letting me know.
I have a request for you.
Very well. Name it.
Would you walk with me under the stars this night?
Edrich was expecting anything but that. And it comes out in his tone of voice as he says, Sure.
Okay.
It would be my pleasure. Somewhat confused, not sure how to take it, but nonetheless agreeable.
Okay. So
Actually,
yeah.
I would like, and we don't have to play this out. I would like to roll romance briefly because he's terrible at flirting, but he's not bad at romance.
Okay, yeah.
So I'd like to see if he notices that kind of thing.
Okay, sure. I will take it.
I'm not gonna roll with my passion because it is a separate day. Complete failure. He just thinks it's a weird Saxon thing, but he's happy to spend time with Oslif.
Or maybe not willing to confirm one way or the other. Just such a counterculture. Like, do they even know what romance is?
Yeah,
I heard they
seems odd.
just bred in barns somewhere. Yeah, stables somewhere.
Well, in fairness, our peasants do the same. But
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. You think of them as peasants, like, not necessarily you, but
yes.
you know.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
hate the racism. What 15?
Yeah, the
You got for
racism is
sexism?
still there. He's fighting the racism by noticing the good in them, and
Yeah.
he's definitely noticing a lot of good about Oslif. She is a very kind person. And very
What is
formidable.
your hate Saxon score?
15.
Make it a 14, good sir.
All right.
Yeah.
I am becoming less racist. I'm becoming less powerful.
So I need you to test one more thing for me for the night. And
Of
that's
course.
so I picture this as a moment where the two of you have like she does mean to walk with you and talk, right? And I think during the walk she actually like expresses her feelings and says, I must admit I have not felt this way for another. I think without meaning to, she's also going to romance, and she's not terribly good at it, but she's impassioned right now. So we're gonna go.
No! Oh,
yeah.
this is wonderful! I love it!
Oh, and yeah.
Oh, that is a success.
So it's not like I won't, it's always like a consent thing, and it's more from a romance, not from a
Yeah, not from a sexual thing.
But
It's
she
more
doesn't
a
know
mutual
when she'll
understanding.
see you again. And so I think there is the offer to lie with her tonight. Do you want to test Chase versus Lustful? And would you
It's
like to
not
do that
a-
privately? And we can end here? Because if we
I'm
end
happy
here with the test privately, no one knows but you and I what your outcome is until later, other than you return very late in the night back to your cell, where Sir Maiden of Huntland County, the same county of Humble Creek, returns to witness a very honorable Sir Edrich, who was returned back to Salisbury, but not before being welcomed
taken out
by
on a moonlit stroll. Yeah. I love the idea of rolling it privately, if only so I can torture Megan with it.
Perfect. That sounds like a plan. Why don't we leave it there then? We'll come back out of the flashback, I think, with you guys most of the way. Sorry, Mark, this has resulted in a Sir Edrich episode just from you getting removed.
Sorry, man.
I've just been listening to careless whispers in the background.
Careless Whisper has been the anthem of this entire episode.
Really have.
Really, you're not wrong. Okay, so we'll return from this, I think, with you on horseback as you reach Malahut. So just
That was a very long flashback. Edric's just like been zoning out for the entire time.
Scene change, you know how it goes.
I know. I'm just being facetious.
Yeah.
Just flooded going, Edrich.
And we'll bring up this fancy map. And someone did. I credited them the last time, but I forget their name right now. They're on the Pendragon server. I'll see if I can throw them in the YouTube credits. They gave us the okay. So if you remember your last time up here, so this is Lindenpool, by the way. Can you see it?
Oh yes, the last time he were here, bad stuff happened.
Yeah, you went to Wintering House.
Right about there, bad stuff.
Yeah, the Pockling Town, and then you guys ended up. This should say Mount Damon actually. This is where you guys had your counter assault. Um,
I
so
just heard Matt Damon and was confused for the
Mount
briefest of
Mount Damon,
moments.
Mount Damon. Yeah, that's where Matt Damon is. Did you know that?
Yeah, it's named after him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let us go to Abericum. You stay wide, I think, this time. You're actually, I think, you're told to at Wintering House, stay wide of the forest because Dira is like right on the other side of it, right? So the camp of Dira is not far from you. And actually, this would be the second time Edrich past Wintering House because this is how you were escorted home last time you went.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Who would have thought I would return to the site of my greatest military disgrace as a tourist?
All right. So as you reach Burkham, oh, you know what? Hold on. I didn't show that on the actual to like anybody. So let me let me just
Could
show
you
it to
give me
the.
a very
Yeah, go
brief
ahead because I
moment? I'll
can.
still be listening, but I hear things. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So for those that didn't see this, Linen Pool. This is where they came up the last time. Went through Wintering House, Falkling Town, and then into Abericum. Dira is located over here. So the group will just be entering Abericum, which is one of the ancient Roman strongholds. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got it. So, Eranwi was present for the Pockling Town and Mount Damon fight. You were there.
Yo.
Yep. And then just to show real quick while Thomas is away, where does this exist on the map of England proper? Well, let me show you. So there's Linden, and then Malahut is up here. So it's basically along here where this is. And Dira is just right on the border. So it's very dangerously close to Berkham. Maybe we'll give you a minute, Mark, just while Thomas is away. We can kind of zoom in on what Florence is thinking and doing as you enter Berkham. You have Kenrick, Albin, and Sir Lycus with you if you'd like to interact with any of them.
I'm trying to think of what Sir Florence would do. I think he's very much playing out the last night's events in his head, being like, "Wow, that was unexpected, not unenjoyable." Uh, and I think honestly, his focus are like, "Wow, that was like a brief event that I'm sure will have no consequences for me in the future." And I think, you know what, we'll just refer to having conversations with the knights with him. Very much like. So, I kind of missed some of last night's events. Any of you care to give me a rundown?
Absolutely, Sir Lycus says. Were you there for the sword being revealed?
Afraid not. A lady had, spilt some wine upon me and I had to change. It's unfortunate.
Well, you missed quite the sight. The Duke of Lindsay bent the knee to the king. The sword was revealed once more, and I must tell you, my friend, whatever it was, I felt called to it. I spent the night dreaming of one realm, one king.
I see. I spent the night dreaming of something else.
Perfect segue for as you enter. There's actually this is a formal, old school like stronghold as you enter Berkham. They stop you at the gate and they say, "State your business."
We're Knights of Salisbury, carrying a message from King Uther to the Duke.
To the Duke.
I think
Oh,
he's
sorry.
actually a
Who
king.
we meeting?
King something, isn't he?
Edrich would know, but I forgot the
Are
name.
you
I'm
sure
so
about
sorry.
that? Courtesy, good sir.
Oh no!
The king?
I'm sure he's something.
Is this for both of us?
Hey,
Hi.
got it. Go ahead and take it. Centurion King of Melahut, King Herod.
Yeah.
The Centurion King, King Herod.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but Arrow, I don't know. Sounds good.
The moment I opened my mouth, I realized I forgot who we were talking to.
The-
It's
the-
okay, I got it in the end.
There's whispers, and then the gates open. This way. You're led in. You can see it's quite the bustling like city. This is probably and it doesn't. It's old like London, but better kept and doesn't smell as much.
Very
Um,
nice.
There's a pretty straightforward stroll to the Centurion King's holding, but when you arrive, he is not present. Instead, you see two others. They introduce themselves. Lady Ines says, I am the king's sister, and this is Sir Nicholas, his key advisor. And Sir Nicholas steps forward and says, Sir Knights of Logres, what brings you up here all this way?
It's a pleasure to meet the both of you. And we were tasked with bringing a tale to the Centurion King.
A tale, he says. I'm afraid that may have to wait. And he looks over to Lady Ines, and Lady Ines says, Indeed, the king is away, dealing with trouble from the Saxons. If you wish it, she says, if you wish it, you may wait. It will be here soon. Or soon enough. So Nicholas says, perhaps so. Though if you wish to ride out and see to his army, I can certainly give you the proper... he wouldn't give you directions. He'd say, I could send you with a guide.
Well, I must say, it would certainly be wonderful to spend some time here in the company of such fine knights and beautiful ladies.
Right.
So look
Now,
over the
I
ladies
think
in there.
that is the absolute best fuel for Edrich to just play through both scenarios in his head. In one, they might get killed by Saxons. In the other, Florence spends a lot of time with the sister of the king, and he immediately goes, "If you could provide us with a guide, we might want to seek him out as soon as we can."
That Florence looks over at Edrich a little betrayed.
Give me was that an attempt? Was that? I mean, I think I know the answer to this, Florence. But is that more courtesy or more flirting?
It's more Florence.
Okay, give me a flirting roll, please, good sir. And also, I think I'm gonna get you to tickle us from earlier.
It's already lost. It's
Oh.
already ticked because I
Oh.
crit it.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
And you know what? An important part of hospitality is being nice to one's host.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be rolling my passion.
Okay.
I love it.
Success.
All right, go ahead and
Beautiful.
roll your flirting.
Flirting +5. So close to a crit.
So close.
That's a
So
6.
close.
As you call for the guide, Lady Ines just says, or perhaps you could stay one day, partake in the wine and the culture of our people, so long lost to us, this Roman culture and fineries. I can't help but notice that Sir Florence here is a Roman Christian after all. She would make note of your. I don't know if you wear a pendant or even your. I imagine your shield is actually a
Yeah.
Roman Christian.
Well, it
shield.
bears the Maltese cross, which
Yeah.
I believe it's a symbol of
Doesn't
Roman
exist
Catholic.
yet, but that's okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
it bears the symbol of the Roman cross.
Yeah,
For the fuck
exactly.
that. Yes.
Exactly.
With that, Florence turns to Edrich with a smile that says, "Haha, I've won." Indeed, I think that would be most wonderful. Don't you agree, Sir Edrich?
Yes, most thoughtful of you, my lady.
I think with that, in fact, as they're heading away, Florence would lean into Edrich, going, "As I said, golden tongue."
Yes, I'm beginning to see it now.
With that, Lady Ines seems satisfied, and she walks away. And it looks like Sir Nicholas moved to walk away, but he stops himself. He kind of makes sure that Lady Ines is departed temporarily for a moment before doing so. And he says, "Oh, just one more thing, Sir Knights. I've heard of the trouble down on the Saxon shore, as you, I'm sure, have heard. We have not had any let up from raiding since, well, the last time your king was this far north. If you wish it, well, our primary army is away. There are some news that there are Saxons raiding nearby. If you wish to spend your time not in idleness, but in the proper duties of a knight, I would be more than happy, and perhaps the king might see it to your liking, if you were to assist him with such matters. So he's trying to sweeten the pot here and suggests that the king will. You're picking up what I'm putting down. I butchered.
I think
the,
Yeah. Florence is looking away at this moment, not really paying attention to the old man in front of him. He goes, "Oh, I don't plan to be idle."
But yeah, twice in as many minutes, Edrich is outplayed, perhaps without perhaps like unintentionally by people reminding him of his courtesies and like what is the proper way for knights to act and react. He's like, yes, it would be good for us to fight Saxons instead of staying inside the castle. Yes. If you can give us with directions and or patrol, then we can assist however we might.
I will
As
be
is our
sure
duty.
to send someone with the details of such a thing, should you wish it. If you wish to simply enjoy our hospitality, may you please do so.
Your offer is very gracious. Thank you.
Indeed.
All right. So we're going to. Is there anything? Are you aiming for another scenario with that, Sir Florence, or what are you aiming for? I think she will host you for another, like host the two of you specifically for, like a show of good hospitality. So it's going to be not really a feast, but it's like a little mini, a wonderful dinner, you know, primarily to show off the extravagance of Berkeley.
Yeah.
Look, even under siege and our people being raided, look how well we can afford to eat. Isn't
I
this
know.
great?
I mean, I think it's very clear. Florence is just going to keep flirting with her as long as she's around, and her brother isn't around.
Any attempt, like, are you attempting to solidify that deal?
Oh, that's a good question. Sure. Let's just create
Do you
more
want to test
problem.
prudent and reckless?
Yes, actually. That's wonderful.
You have rolled a passion, so you could apply it to whichever one you like.
Well, I think it would apply. Hospitality
Apply
would
to
apply to
prudent.
not following up, probably.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Which seems fair, and still leaves some possibility that it could backfire. So let's see.
Well,
Alright,
I
so
want
this
to be a good. I want to be a good guest, so I'm going to sleep with them. Sleep with them all.
Exactly.
It's only
Hey,
fair.
we with a good guess. All right, so +5 to prudence. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Oh, oh no, oh no.
No! I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Mark.
Well, this doesn't necessarily mean anything by itself because I think she's gonna have a test against this.
Yeah.
Like you know.
What
So
it means is that success or fail, he's still angling towards it, which is as bad as it happening.
oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no.
I
oh that's
oh,
yeah.
that's a failure on both of them.
I'm gonna make
Bob,
yeah.
before something happens, could I create a custom skill called Cockblock? I feel I'm going to need it. I'm going to put all my points into it.
I think it's called intrigue. So I think what's happening is as the night spins on, I think you actually have a moment to talk with Sir Nicholas. So we're gonna kind of play like Florence and her like mingling and flirting and dancing. It's real obvious, and I think what's happened is this is escalated. It's like you and Sir Nicholas are like, "There's nothing to worry about right there." No, not at all. Ha 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 ha. And then as it gets later on in the night, you're both like, "There's something to worry about here." Like neither is pulling the trigger, but it's both. It seems like they're both getting drunk and they're both having a good time, and that's leading towards the wrong type of thing. And
If I had a Libram for every time this type of scenario would pop up around me, I'd be a very rich man and I wouldn't have to fight in battles.
Sir de Winterbourne Stoke, perhaps you could ensure that no honor is besmirched this evening.
I will do my very best.
I would think
What
that
I
so.
intended to do by charging headfirst into war.
It would
I
not
forget
reflect
myself.
well on King Uther if his advisor came north and had bastard with his own sister.
No, indeed it would not. You needn't worry. I'm sure everything will be fine. He is simply very affectionate.
All right. I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna give you an energetic test, just to be. I mean, if your intention is to be an annoying cockblock, all you have to do is keep up the constant effort to do so, and I
Keep
think
up
it's
with it.
yeah.
Now, as we've seen, fumbles happen quite a lot. Edrich is a very energetic knight. Mark, I'm going to put this to you. Should I activate
no.
my passion to make it so that I could stay up all the time,
Oh.
stopping this from happening, or should I leave some ambiguity for the
Well,
dramas?
here's the question. This is for Bob. Is it a roll off between us, or if he succeeds, he just succeeds?
I think because you're getting into the drink and stuff, the fumble just almost kind of removes your control. But
Okay.
you're also not. I don't think this is like someone you're in love with. It's just a convenience thing from being too drunk, and probably like. So I think him succeeding at it would be enough. Right, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you
All
agree
I
with
have
that?
to do is outlast a drunk person.
That works. I mean, honestly, you can if you want to. It's probably in your best interest to.
Because
I'd
you're
say
along for
that.
the ride. Like this won't help your honor either if this goes sideways, right?
Yeah.
You can't just go. You can't look at your fellow knight and be like, "Oh, it was him who did it." It's like, yeah, but you both came north, and you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
But
No,
you
trust
didn't
me.
stop it.
Now that being
tried
said, this
all
stuff
the
happens
time.
all the time in King Arthur's stories, so I'm not gonna like pull it against it.
No, 100%.
It has, however, already happened literally once this episode already.
It has already happened once this episode, and Edrich doesn't even know about it. He just has this kind of feeling in the back of his mind. there's like a ghost of one of his ancestors speaking in his ear, going, "You really should keep better track of him." I would like to roll my passion of honor and hope I don't fumble, because I need to succeed on this so that this this doesn't get worse than it already has. Why do I even open my mouth? So that is a fumble on honor. I am in melancholy.
On top of that, you always with a 20 you drop one.
I should have rolled hospitality. I was going to. Okay.
You know, there is something I can spare you with here, and the only reason I'm going to spare you is I meant to say it, but I wasn't trying to cut you guys off. You have a new passion, right?
Oh, I do.
And
I
I think
could
it
have
would
rolled
be
homage Uther.
yeah. I'll give you a pass only because I think it's interesting right now for that to come up. And you're literally on a king's mission, right? Like otherwise,
Yes.
I'd say no, and it's directly to do with people bending the knee to him. Like it seems
I
appropriate.
will say this as well. Ordinarily, I would also say no and take my lumps. The main reason I'm not is being melancholy in a scenario where I'm fighting a bunch of Saxons is a recipe for me dying. So yes.
Okay.
We're no longer. We aren't going to have depressed Edrich. I would like to roll my homage Uther as a
Yeah.
passion. Thank you,
Please.
Bob, for your mercy.
Yeah. No. Like I was gonna say it, I just missed the beat to say it. It's getting later, so.
Fucking roller coaster.
Success. And on a 20, I believe that gives me a +10,
Plus
which
10?
means I'm rolling my energetic to hit a target of 26.
Okay. Yeah.
No
Easy,
one
right?
on Earth is a better cock block than Edrich.
Yeah, you just keep redirecting after redirecting. You see them try to leave like 3 or 4 times together, and you're just right there. Like, oh.
Yeah. Doing the patented Winterbourne swoop. Like every time like they think they're going off alone and like giggling, Edric's just like there in front of them going, "My lady, about these paintings."
All right. So I do want to get through this episode. I think it's important that you guys are returning back, or else we're gonna have to do something like Liam will be doing elsewise, and I don't want to keep Mark up too late. We're going on hour 3, so I just want to clarify. Basically, you're left with 3 options. Then you have 3 things you can take. You can wait idly, which sounds like that sounds like a bad idea after last night.
Yeah.
Which leaves you with find the army, or a great idea for Florence. I don't know how you'd feel about it because you're still higher chase than not. So I don't know if there's a party that would be like, what am I doing? I don't know.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like Sir Florence gets the kind of thing from his father. It's like, whoops. Oh well.
Guess that's happened.
What a shame.
It doesn't affect who I am as a person. It just happens.
It's also like all right because he's not married. It's not like he's being unfaithful to his wife or anything.
Yeah. So the other 2 options were finding the army or seeking out the Saxon raiders that have been causing some trouble here.
Edrich is in favor of seeking out the Saxon raiders because the army's an army and they're going to take care of things. And fighting the Saxons around here, raiding, if the soldiers are elsewhere, then he might as well do his knightly duty. And he absolutely has to get Florence out of that goddamn castle. He stayed awake until 2 a.m. trying to stop them from boning.
How are you guys doing? Could you guys go another 45 if you had to? Mark, would that kill you?
I could do it.
Yeah. Okay.
I could as well. There's dinner, but I'm fine.
I'll refill a water bottle and then we'll dive right in. We'll see if we can, we might be able to fast track it, but I will be right back, everyone. We're back. Okay, there we go. I had my mic off for a sec. Okay, let's dive into. Actually, I was told to run an ad. It's late, but I'm gonna take a second anyways and run an ad. Ha, so good.
All right, let's do it.
No, so we won't go through too much detail here. I just want to say while this ad's running, what we'll talk about very briefly is just so for this next little bit, all I'm gonna do, I think we're gonna gloss over some of the finer detail, like the descriptive detail. We're gonna go into some skirmishing, and then we can close with a little bit of an end scene with what happens in the aftermath of that. So
I'm good with that. Also, while you were away, Mark and I were just talking about how the dice today are absolutely wonderful.
I love it, right? It's
Yeah.
been pretty awesome as far as just being perfect timing on its decisions. I love how it literally set up one of your cellmates to be from Huntland County. Like they couldn't have been.
Yeah. I know. It's wonderful.
I'm like, this story just writes itself, really, at this point.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. Just like imagine him coming back ransomed to his family. It was like, well, everything was fine. Edrich of Winterbourne, Stoke, he was quite nice to us. Shared what food he got with us as well. Went on a moonlit walk with one of them, which I don't want to make any assumptions, but man,
I doubt that will help the rumors against Edrich.
here's the thing. There's only one thing that will help the rumors against Edrich. That's killing Jareth.
I don't know what you're talking about. Everything's fine. All right, let's get into battle, fellas. It's been a minute to use this one, so it's probably gonna be all over the place. Yep. Nah, we don't need that map. You know what? We'll just use the NPC page. It'll work just as fine as anywhere else. All right, so we're gonna do some tests here, peeps. We're gonna run two skirmishes. So you're gonna come upon the raiders from Nohot, or from Dira, not from Nohot. Let's figure out who your enemies are. Let me change the music to some actiony music.
Now remember, kids, if you roll the number 2 times in a row, we're fighting Eosa the Giant. I hope
Only if you
that's not
push
true.
way
I
in,
just made it up.
which isn't gonna happen.
I doubt Eos is going to be in a raiding party just
Yeah,
in the middle of fucking nowhere.
I'm not put you guys against that. It's like instant death for these characters at this point, I think. Maybe
The
Hamid
greatest
Uther.
swordsman, yeah,
save
the greatest
Edrich.
swordsman couldn't fight him. We're gonna do our fucking best though.
All right, so what we need to do is, you guys would be amongst a group of soldiers in this counter raid. It's not just you. It's obviously Sir Lycus and the other two, Alvin and Kenrick, are here. So with that in mind, why don't we roll 1d20? Let's see what you both end up against here.
Let's do this.
Mark, you are
Something
facing
I
an
might be able to
axeman.
do. Yeah.
And Thomas, you're against a warrior in blue cloak.
Oh no.
All
For a
right.
moment, I thought we were going to have to face Wotan once more.
Wotan. Wotan clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Right, so this is a bit of a skirmish. There's obviously opponents. I'm not going to roll for the other three. We're going to assume their success tonight because we're limited on time. I'd love to roll to see how they do normally. So with that in mind, we'll start with Mark and the Axeman. This isn't a duel because it's like everyone's fighting around you, but it's you and the Axeman facing off this round. So we're going to assume the two of you together versus the Axeman and the blue cloak warrior. It's kind of the idea.
All right. Sir Florence will be, I imagine, on horseback, wielding his lance.
Hell yeah.
And then once he gets in there and the lance is no longer suggestible, he will switch to his great spear.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Give me.
I like how Oh, sorry.
Great Spear cannot be...
It's just a regular spear.
Yeah. Not on horseback.
No, that makes sense. At that point, it's just another lance.
Yeah.
I'm
But even
gonna make
that,
sure
lance
that no
isn't
one's
good
made
for
the
short
same.
term.
Yeah, the same joke. Gotcha. So both in his personal life and in battle, Florence's main tactic is thrusting.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do... You two can make your first attack against the Blue Cloak Warrior and the Axeman if you want.
All right.
I would like to activate a passion of homage Uther to fight the Blue Cloak Warrior. I'll let Mark go first.
Actually, hold on. Let me do... I'm going to do a quick test, a 1d2 test, to figure out what weapon... Okay, the Blue Cloak Warrior has a great spear, so he's on foot, but you don't get your mounted bonus.
Yeah.
It's a two-handed weapon.
I am going to roll homage Uther.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Mark.
610.
Yeah, because you actually have that, but not as... You didn't get the plus 10 bonus. That's right.
No, yeah, so it's 16.
Yeah.
If you had it as a 26, that would have been so good.
God, it would be
No.
insane.
You had to have
the cards
sex with
pulled
a
you away.
person.
Yeah.
It's choice between Uther or bitches. I gotta be honest. I don't think I made the wrong choice.
Lily has come to visit. I'm
Hey.
not sure she's going to. Yeah.
It's a 13.
All right, so the Axeman. Oh. Wait, no, I rolled.
Oh.
I didn't roll. That was I just typed the number.
Yeah, you typed 18, thank God.
Yeah. Verse 18.
Oh. So
Not-
wait, it's me.
Not great though, for you. And then, what's the Blue Cloak two-handed weapon? Wait, they get a minus. Don't they get a -5 though? Because when they don't have a great spear, or just no, you just get a +5, right?
I get a plus. Oh, I get a +5?
Yeah, you
'Cause
got
I'm-
a +5.
Yeah, because I'm on horseback.
Yeah.
So actually, that is a
16, right?
That would
Would
have
you?
been
no.
it would have been an 18 if you had a +5.
Because I forgot to add another 5 on there because it's 5
Oh,
for
13.
being-
I was reading 11. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so 18. So you tie, right? You're gonna tie the Axeman.
Oh, I think I beat him because he rolled a 15.
Oh, right.
18
I'm looking at
versus
the.
15.
Okay.
It's all good.
Yeah.
And then, so
It's
you get to deal damage, Mark. And then for the Blue Cloak Warrior, he's got a great spear of 20.
Ew.
You didn't roll good though.
I would like to
sure.
activate my passion of homage Uther.
It's active. I'll give it to you. Just have it.
Alright.
Yeah.
Perfect. He has
To
a
be
great
fair-
spear, so I don't. Yeah.
You can't fail.
Yeah. And it gives me bonuses. So I am going to attack this guy. I don't get my horse bonus. I'm going to strike him with my rhythm stick. I'm going to strike him slowly. I'm going to strike him quick. I strike him with a critical.
All right.
Natural 19, so unfortunately it's not as great as it could be, but still very nice.
Still critical.
Yeah. And I'm going to roll my damage. That's 38. As I imagine, still on the horse despite the spear being wielded against him. It's a battle of trying to knock it off balance with my shield and right at his head.
All right, that guy is dead.
Blue cloak is made purple.
Yeah, you get 15 glory for the Blue Cloak Warrior. And then
Oh, yeah.
21 damage dealt to the Axeman, who has 8. So you still dealt pretty good, but it's going to be a second round here, Florence.
Alright.
Edrich, if you want to move into position this round, you can. But you're going to have a hard time like swinging on his opponent this round.
Sorry
Alright.
about that. Yes, I would love to move into position.
Okay. So we'll start with you, Mark. You can make your
Alright.
second attack on this guy.
Plus, this is with a plus 10, 5 for passion, 5 for being on horse. Oh, God, that's not a good roll.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Fortunately, you get your shield and armor bonus.
I do.
15 damage, which I think you absorb, right?
I block.
Completely
yeah.
so. Completely so.
Look at that roll. 2 2 6 1 2 2. That's good. Good for you. Alright, so we go into the next round with two of you facing off against him. But there is a new challenger. Thomas, you can make the roll at the same time.
Oh,
Give me a D20.
absolutely. 5.
5. So, an axe and spearman. Let's see. Axe and spearman. I guess he has both.
Oh, right. Is it? Are you sure it's both and it's not two people, one with an axe, one with a spear? Or is it just a person who carries an axe and also a spear?
Oh, that's probably what it is. An axe and a spearman. Yeah, so you have an axeman. I don't know why I didn't say axeman and spearman. That would make more sense.
Yeah.
That would describe. But that makes sense. So you're about to come into 3 of them then, not 2.
Yay.
So we'll start with defining. So there's the axeman that Mark was fighting that's already damaged. There's a new axeman coming in and another a spearman. Great spearman coming in. Who are you attacking, Florence? Who do you want to divide your attacks amongst? The axeman's still focused on you, the one you injured. He wants to kill you.
Florence is focused on that too.
Yeah, just by
I'll
itself,
hold
you're
these
not
off.
splitting.
Take care of him. For Uther!
What
You're
did you
gonna-
say?
For Uther!
All right. So why don't we deal with these one at a time? So I think the spearman and the new axeman are going to come at you, Edrich, just because you turn to face them. Is that fair? Yeah. Florence, you can give me your attack roll.
Wait, that's not right.
Wait,
That can't
yeah,
be
you didn't
right.
add the bonuses.
What would your bonuses been? It would have been at 20, right? Or 21?
Yeah, it would have been a 20.
So with a 20,
19
That
plus
would have
6.
been a crit.
keep your first roll.
Alright.
It
You
wouldn't
are
have been a crit.
unmerciful,
It would have
Bob.
been 19, right?
No, it
No,
would have been a
you've been-
crit because I added
16
10
plus
to
5
it.
is
Oh, then I can't give you a free crit. I won't do that. I'll give you a free high number, but not a free crit. Actually, you know, you rolled what you rolled. I'll deal with it. So you rolled a 19 versus that would have given you what, a plus how much?
Because it would have been 19 versus 26. So it would have added 6 to the roll.
Okay. Okay, yeah. We'll count that. Alright, so you hit him. You can deal the damage.
Alright.
Oh, this is gonna be bad for him.
This is with regular damage though, because it's no longer the first charge.
No, you're critted though. It's double damage.
No, I know. I mean the force damage. This is regular damage.
You can't.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should have specified. You cannot use a lance outside of an actual.
Yes.
It turns into a spear, basically, right?
Yeah. They'd be using the spear because we're using the Kenrick rules. Like,
Yeah.
Interchange.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can use a spear, but use the lance skill, I guess.
So 28
Okay,
damage.
28 damage.
He's dead. You completely that's that guy. And give me another D20 roll, Mark, as like one more guy's gonna enter the fray here. Thomas,
Dude.
how are you splitting against them?
I have a sword skill of 16. Is the spearman carrying a great spear or
Yes.
a regular spear?
Great Spirit says.
Got you. I have a thing against one. I'll split it. Let's do 8 and 8, evenly split.
Okay.
So my first roll is going to be against the swordsman.
Axeman. Do Axeman. Makes more
Oh,
sense.
axeman, yeah.
Axeman and
Uh,
Spearman.
I'm gonna type down axeman. Axeman attack. And then I would subtract 8, but I would add... No. Ugh, that's not great.
It's versus the Axeman, right?
Yeah.
You can go ahead and make your roll on the Spearman, too. I've got both their responses took up.
Beam attack. And it will be -8 plus 2. No, wait. 16 plus 10 is 26. -8 is 18. Success, but not a high one.
Tie on that.
Oh.
Tie against the Spearman. So his spear will break into your sword.
Indeed. The Axeman hits me.
Axeman hits you. So the Axeman... Man, some of these rolls are tough because you get multiple people coming in. So the Axeman hits you with his... It's his two-handed weapon without stats on it, which is interesting. I guess it's just a 66, same thing.
66 is pretty gnarly, but let's see what happens. Oh, that is taken down to... How much is that? 5.
Yeah.
I think that's Edrich being too focused on the spearman as he dodges a thrust and tries to hack away at it before it can get chopped at again. But he gets slashed.
All right.
Still, I think I'm doing okay.
Okay.
Mostly.
So as Mark finishes off his enemy, 2 warriors come running up now. There's a guy with a two-handed weapon and a guy with a great spear. They're both focused on Sir Florence. You rolled warriors, so there's two of them.
Oh no.
So, so you guys are left. You got 3 opponents left, right? Or wait,
4.
4, right?
Because I got 2.
Yeah,
he's got 2.
Well, I think the spearman, he's gonna go to a
Spearman
dagger,
is-
or like a little hand
yeah.
axe, which will play out like a dagger. Not as dangerous of a weapon, but still a threat. So
Still a threat.
I think they're gonna focus 2-on-1 for both of you. So we have the daggerman and the or the hand axeman and the the big axe.
The warriors. Yeah.
On you,
All right.
Idris. So let's do that first.
Ready. I'm going to split it. I'm going to say evenly both ways again, but this time I get the bonus against the Dagger Man now. So what would be a plus 15 becomes a... Oh, that's the Axeman again. And that's a critical against the Dagger Man.
Okay, so the Axeman's gonna hit you, but the Broken Spearman you're gonna crit, so you can crit him. I think
Absolutely.
He's probably toast.
30
So
damage.
He's down.
Not much, but
Well,
yeah, he's got no shield.
what's your max health?
27. Currently it's 22.
Yeah. So 30's a lot. He's down.
Yeah, 30's a bunch.
Yeah. So with that in mind, so 30 damage to him. He's down. The Axeman will do, what is it, 66? Is what I said?
That's what it was last time.
19 damage.
Still respectable.
He's penetrating your armor, but not
am-
much, right?
Yeah, I haven't hit any of my levels. But yes, I'm still up, still ready to go, still raring to go, with the blood of one of them staining my blade.
All right, Florence, you're against a 200 weapon fighter and a great spearman.
Fun. I am going to split my rolls, one being a 10 and one being a 6.
Okay.
So first one up is 10. Just make my lance of 20.
The good thing is these guys aren't as skilled.
It keeps rolling it wrong.
What do you mean?
Because it rolled it as a... No.
Did you add your stuff?
There we go. That rolled correctly. And then this one is just a 6. Not so great.
Our rolls are turning against us, insofar as they were ever with us in the first place, debating.
At least I get my shield.
Yeah.
You flop.
There's 15, and the Great Spear is 1d20 versus 10. Oof. Right, you're gonna get hit by both these, aren't you? Wait, hold on. You hit the first one.
No.
Just
No.
a second.
Yeah, he hits the first one.
Yeah.
Second one.
Oh, actually, because he has a great spear. As a note, my lance is actually going to be at 11, but it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and roll your damage on the first one then.
11.
11. These guys aren't as armored, so you still break through. The Great Spearman, 15 damage. I think that you soaked the whole thing there, right?
Yeah,
Completely covered.
completely so.
So it's back and forth. Okay, we're gonna go back into rounds, starting with Edrich.
I knew I should have bought better armor.
Just versus the Axeman now, right?
If I could I attack the Axeman and one of Florence's opponents, or is that not possible?
I think because of positioning, I know we don't show it here, but I think you have to eliminate your opponents to get to his opponents. But yeah.
That's perfectly understandable. I will do my best to rock his socks off, and I do with a critical.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, he down. Go ahead and give me the damage on that.
Absolutely, be my pleasure.
You're making up for previous failures.
46.
Okay.
Yes, I feel like not only just the previous failures, he's so desperate to be a good knight and also a good follower of Uther, the one true king.
I was about to say that part. I think with you, because you were impassioned with that, right? So I think that's the driving. That's what impassioned is.
Absolutely.
That's your driving factor. Okay.
And that full force of that determination is going right into that Axeman's sternum.
He did. Yeah.
He
he's
did.
done. Yeah. So we are on to Mark, you versus your last round versus both of them. And then Edrich will be able to enter.
I'm going to split the same way as before.
Okay. Giver.
However, this time he will switch it. So, actually, no. Keep it as it is. So this one is against the Axeman. What a bad roll.
Wait, you already downed the Axeman, did you not?
No, he did a slight bit of damage.
Did a little bit of damage.
No, the original Axeman. You fought an Axeman originally, didn't you?
Yeah,
you
but then two warriors came in.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I meant
Two-handed
the
weapon
warrior.
fighter.
Yeah.
Two-handed weapon fighter.
Okay, and then give me your roll against the Great Spearman.
Oh, it's the Axeman.
Failure on the first
Hey.
or second, but the first one hits you.
Yeah.
So that was, I said 5d6. It looks like 18 damage. So it gets through for 3.
Or just 2, I think.
For 2, yeah, that's right. Because you have 16.
Still hurt.
I'll tell you how you will die with my axe inside your eyes, because I'm the Axeman.
Okay, so there's 2 left. I think we need to know how you guys... Florence, let's start with you. How do you plan to split before you know Edrich's plan here?
I think, honestly, Florence is going to continue to do as he's been doing.
Okay.
Splitting his attacks between defending against the spear and trying to kill the man with the two-handed weapon.
I think the two-handed weapon man will turn to face Edrich, leaving you an opportunity. So I'll let you guys both roll your attacks first, and then I will roll mine.
Alright.
I'm going to try and fight them both.
Okay.
Especially because one of them might not be looking at me.
Florence is gonna have first strike just from positioning here, and then
Yep.
and then I'll roll, and then Edrich roll from there. So
5.
okay.
And
He's distracted.
Spearman at 2.
Okay, you can roll damage on the first one because he cannot defend. He's fighting Edrich. Or turn to face Edrich.
15.
Alright, yeah, that gets through. He's pretty hurt. Not like super hurt, but pretty hurt. The one swinging at Edrich misses entirely. Great Spearman misses you, Florence. So. Alright, and then on to Edrich's attacks.
Absolutely. I'm hitting them both. This one is against the two-handed weapon boy. I'm splitting it evenly. So that would be this. Would it? 15 minus 8. Yes. Critical.
Man, you've been rolling those like crazy.
Yeah, I know. I'm never gonna get them inside a, big battle. I'm using them all up now. And this against the spear boy. I believe it's just this. Success, though not a crit.
Okay. Success is enough because he
roll.
failed to hit you, so they both.
Yes, that's right. He was facing away, so I'll do damage for the first one, which is a crit, which is a 48.
Yeah, you lop off the head of the two-handed weapon man that turned to face you, and go ahead and give me damage.
In the same strike, unfortunately arrested by the neck, the momentum slows only enough to do a glancing blow on this guy.
Now that's the first time the
He does
spearman's
damage.
been harmed, but he looks pretty
Yes,
hurt.
it is.
He's back, not back, but he's not turned to face you. I think he's still hell bent on Florence. So, Florence, why don't you give us your exchange? As your guys are down to a 2v1 at this point.
This
Let's
rapidly went from a
roll.
good day for the spearman to a very, very bad one.
Is this with the full modifier or the split modifier?
You don't have to split. There's only one target.
All right, perfect.
I split your first target. Get it?
Oh
he
my
die?
god.
Oh, he ties. You break his
Oh!
spear. Yeah.
No, with a lance. I'm not
it's-
sure what
No, this
the
is
rule
with a
is.
spear, not a sword.
Oh, that's right.
Got it.
What
So-
happens with a tie on that?
I think it'd be fun
me a
if
quick-
we have them both deal damage. I think it'd be fun. What do you think?
All right,
Yeah.
let's do it.
With the spears, it kind of makes sense. Like, I don't see any other kind of
Like
weapon
clamp.
connecting of any sort. All right. So 5d6 coming your way, Mark. Or wait, hold on. Let me see with the great spear. Yeah, 5d6.
46 coming his way. That was impressive.
Yeah, but you get through where he doesn't. So.
Woo.
Yeah. All
The
right.
advantage of chainmail
Yeah.
And shields.
and
Spirit-
shields.
He has armor of 8. So he's still dealt. So he's pretty wounded between those two attacks. I think Edrich, you're likely to finish this off here.
I would like to kill him.
Okay.
Unless, of course, he yields. Edrich
Yeah.
else, do you yield?
Saxons
Not even
don't
wait.
yield. Yeah.
Yeah.
He screams at you. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that even means. So it would be plus 10. 13.
All right, you're gonna hit because he can't contest that. So
Yeah, and he doesn't have a shield. 17 damage.
All right, 17 minus. Okay, so hold on. Let me see. 17.
17 minus 8 is 9.
And then we had 14 minus 8. Oh, 14 minus 8, and then we had. There's one other.
15 minus 8.
Yeah, 15. Okay, so 9 plus 7
Death
plus
by
8.
1,000 cuts.
22 damage. Clean. I'm gonna say he acts like he's gonna drop, but then he goes up to try and hit Florence one last time.
What's this guy made of?
Saxons are hardy friggin' warriors, man.
What did I ever do to you?
Alright, Florence, go ahead and give me your counterattack, and then Edrich will have a chance.
I sincerely doubt he'll survive.
Oh my god.
Florence's. Oh no. Oh my god.
15 damage. Still doesn't get through.
So,
Just give up already.
Yeah, Florence is like barely wounded, but he's just been hammered with he's gonna have like bruises on his chest after he's done.
Edrich running on pure adrenaline, covered in blood, his own and his enemies. He's gonna go in, try and finish this. Poor roll, but it's not like he's fighting me.
Yeah, and give me your damage. Yeah, he's done.
13.
He didn't need much more. He needed 3 more.
Yeah.
All right, so
Indeed.
let's split up some glory right away. So those warriors, you guys are gonna divide the glory there. So 5 and 5 on them. The Axeman Mark, you get 15 glory for him. That was the original Axeman that you took out.
15, you said?
For Mark, yep.
Yep.
Thomas, you took out the Axe and Spearman yourself, right? So 15 glory for you.
Yeah.
And then you get 16 glory for the warrior in blue cloak, Thomas. So quite eventful for Edrich. Edrich kind of shined in that one, so, which is interesting. Lots of crit. Those crits matter, man. If you get crits, they turn into double them.
Absolutely do. Yeah. Yeah, this has been a pretty glorious day for Edrich, and it would have been a more glorious day for Florence had he kept it in his pants.
Had he been allowed to remain back at the castle?
Yeah.
Inglorious. All right. Let me just see if you get any additional glory for that. I don't think so. I think it's just that glory. Oh, I forgot to mention too, Edrich. Did I tell you got 15 glory for witnessing? Yeah, I did, for witnessing the Duke's submission. That's right, because you're like, who's Lindsay? So, as you reach a Burkham, again, after going out on these raids, let's see if anyone got really critically harmed here. We're just going to do 3d20 rolls on your mates. See if any of them... None of them got 20s, so yeah, you're good.
None of them died.
Yeah.
I'll have their bits of bumps and bruises. You reach the Centurion King as you ride back into Burkham. He looks at you.
Your Majesty.
Knights of Logris, he says, with a very unamused look on his face. I understand that you were sent out to deal with some of the local raiders.
We volunteered. But yes. Sorry, Sir Florence.
I was simply about to add, we did come here with a different mission in mind from King Uther.
His eyes narrow a little bit at that. Of course. Yes, of course you did. You see, the only reason I'm talking to you right now is because you aided my lands. Let's be clear. So I'll give you a moment. Share with me the king's news. What does the King of Logris have to say to the King of Mellow?
He bids us tell you the tale of the Sword of Victory. A sword created at the dawn of all things, said to be held in the rightful hands of the ruler of this realm. We saw it with our own eyes, as it was bestowed upon Merlin from a lady in a lake, after fighting through Fae to get there. Uther holds it now, and with it, he is the rightful ruler. He merely wants a dialogue with you, I think.
And yet he does not come here himself.
He seeks to muster against the Saxons to the south.
And
The
what of the
ones
Saxons to
within
the
our
north?
lands. Well, he can't be everywhere at once.
Indeed not.
And the Saxons are multitudinous.
And you're here to, what, invite me to Logris?
We were simply sent here to tell you the tale of how the great sword of victory was found and how it now rests in the hands of King Uther. As well to remind you of previous agreements that were made between you and the king. The royal promises between kings should be kept.
You may tell your king, King Uther, that I will visit him as soon as I have leisure time.
I see. Edrich says, fully understanding that the north is quite under attack by Saxons as well. We shall let him know. In the meantime, I thank you and your household for your hospitality.
Indeed. Your knight here and sister have been quite welcoming. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh man. I'm gonna roll intrigue for him. He's not very good at that though. I give him a 10.
Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah,
Yes!
Right over his head. Right over his head.
Right over his head, thank God.
She's probably nearby, like witnessing this. She just smiles briefly and then wanders off.
I think Edrich witnesses the moment where it goes over his head and is like, good, we're not getting murdered today. And says, as for fighting the raiders on your lands, it is our duty as knights, not just as messengers. Though, it is the whole realm that Uther is concerned with now.
We are 2 kingdoms against 4. Let him deal with the 2 to the south, and I will deal with the 2 to the north. That is all we can do for now.
Of course. We'll bring word to him. In the meantime, I'm bleeding a lot. Does anyone have any...
They'll call on for aid. Alright. Let me just see if there is... Did I have any glory for... Yeah. Plus 10 glory for delivering the message.
Hell yeah.
And we shall wrap there, my peeps.
Absolutely.
Thanks anyone who stuck it out for the 3.5 hour episode. Went a little bit longer than I expected. But we did have to take a few breaks there. It was a good time. Thanks for watching. I have Open Pendragon starting again this Tuesday and Wednesday. We will not be doing Gathering of Branches, sadly, this week, but we'll be back for the next one. I don't think I have too much more to speak to. There's some more projects coming, but not yet, so we'll leave it at that. That is all. I'm Bob. Thank you for watching. I'll pass it on to Thomas next.
Oh, my name's Thomas. I have been Sir Edrich of Winterbourne, Stoke, who's having a mixed time. Things are being very good and things are being very bad. There's nothing lukewarm about the situation at the moment, which I like quite a bit. It's the same way we like people. We either do or we hate them. But yes, I have very little online presence. I'm a digital ghost. If you find me, well done. Tell no one. The secret dies with us.
Fair.
And that's me.
Mark.
Oh, hi. I'm sorry I didn't see you there. I was just checking out our handy-dandy Discord. By the way, did you know we have a Discord? Come check us out. We had all kinds of neat there, reminders, updates on new projects and stuff that are coming in and out. Also, lots of shit posting, lots of memes. So come join the fun. Join the fucking circus that is our server. Come
The
join us.
stream fam.
Yes, come become part of the stream fan.
Stream fan.
I have been Mark, playing Sir Florence, and I will have a few projects to announce in the future, but for now they are still in the works, so stay tuned. And of course, join the server for updates on these projects and stuff coming out further on. I think that's about all I have to say, so yeah. Thanks for watching.
Oh, I guess I have one last point before we close. We'll be catching up with Liam. Hopefully, I'd like to do that between now and next game, but we shall see. I don't think it makes much sense to do it otherwise, because, yeah, it just doesn't. So hopefully we'll have a chance to sync up. If we don't, so be it. At the very worst, we can gloss over the detail there and we'll give Liam some kind of short roll there to see how bad it went. But thanks all for watching. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Farewell.
Bye.